Alright, so we are live and we are recording because I don't trust my internet. Oh!
Okay, I just
Yes?
here. Peas.
What?
Peas the goblin.
Steve? Okay, just let me
Peas.
quickly change it. Yeah, you can edit that yourself there on your character sheet if you'd like to.
I did.
Excellent. I have lost my player ring. Cheese! Alright, so this is going to be a little one-shot because Dennis unfortunately can't get back in from work in time to run the usual Voarcel. So I decided that I wanted to run a little module that I had a while ago. It was a scenario I pulled out of thin air to run at one of my gaming societies in the before times. And it actually worked out quite well, so I've refined it a little bit, and I'm now going to subject these guys to it, much like I did with Missing Gold. If it goes well, I might try and write it into a module like I've done with Missing Gold. If not, we can laugh at the failure. So, let us begin. If I can... There we are. So then, yous are hanging out in a little town called Foxring. Because I couldn't think of a better name, and that was the pre-generated one.
There are a lot of foxes around. They built a ring, fox ring. There you go.
Sure, why not? It's an old fortified city from the wars way back in the day. But for now, it's a relatively... Okay, Colin, I'll look into that later. My darling husband just sent me a message, even though he is sitting right in front of me. It's a well-fortified town. It was never breached in the wars, so it's a nice, safe place to be. There haven't been battles in this place for a long time, so it's a relatively relaxed atmosphere. As yous are looking around for a little bit of work, you encounter a merchant in the centre of town. At the moment, the town is bustling because it's setting up for a festival that will start later on that night and continue on for the next few days. I haven't quite thought as far ahead to see what the festival is, so deal with it.
The Fox Festival.
Absolutely.
Probably a summer festival, something like that. So, you were hanging out in the tavern when a merchant basically walked in and declared rather loudly, "I need people to do a job for me. Who's interested?" The four of yous, scattered around the tavern with empty wallets, went, "Here!" As you stood up and walked outside. And as you're standing outside, the merchant is waiting for you to gather your things, and he starts to explain what he wants you to do, when suddenly there's smashing glass from the tavern you have just left as a scruffy little man gets thrown out, jumps up beside your party, brushes himself off, and acts like he's been there all along.
Oh my god. Wally! Wally!
Oh dear, by Bahamut. Is that you, Fernando?
In the flesh! Listen, am I ever glad to see you?
Yes, the feeling is mutual, of course.
Fill me in. What's going on? What's the score?
Well, I'm trying to describe that to you. As you see, we're getting set up for a rather important festival. There is a lot of business to be done here. There is a farm that I own. It's attached to a vineyard. It's a few miles outside of the city. They were supposed to supply me with some of my finest mead and wine, but they're not here yet. I need you to go to the farm, find out what the delay is, and get them on the road and bring that stuff back to me here. And, if I do say so myself, my wine has a bit of a reputation, so I fear there might be trouble on the road. There tend to be bandits coming out around this time of year to waylay travellers coming to sell things at the festival, so we'll call it a protection detail. I'll offer you 50 gold each, as well as a cask. Do you think you could arrange that?
50 gold sounds great.
Yes, I'll certainly go along as well. Ooh.
What was that, Coop?
Yes, I'll certainly go along as well. Got to keep that one out of trouble. And while he just jabs a finger back towards Fernando.
Who's like picking glass out of his, like holding up a little mirror in his hand, like fixing his hair. Oh, glass, ew.
Of course. Every festival needs a proper drink. It simply would not do if we did not have the appropriate drink for this festival.
Now this, Wooly, this lady knows what she's talking about. Have you guys friends? Fernando Charfel. Pleased to meet you. A long bow.
Well, very well then. I want you to try and get it back before tonight. So, I have things to attend to. You can meet me, and he points to a stall over here, where you can see there's a woman painting a sign advertising his brand. I'll be around there. Try and get it back as soon as you can. Good luck. He starts striding off. So, now that you've been given your promise, would you like to describe your characters? We'll go down the list with our new player who hasn't played with me as DM before. Is Asha.
Me. Okay, so my character... Can you hear me okay? Just checking.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, cool. So my character is Sigrid. She's an elf. She has long red hair and pointed ears and freckles on her face, and she is wearing a flower crown, and Fox City thing is funny because she actually has a foxtail. Yeah, so that's all I got.
Okay, and you are... Do you want to reveal your class, or did I miss you say that?
Oh, yeah, I'm a druid. Sorry.
Okay. Done the list then, we have Coobs.
Alrighty, I will be playing a returning character. Most people who would know him from Goblin Problems, which he played around this time last year, another one-shot, or from numerous references dropped to him during Dragon Heist. Today I will be playing Wally Cephal, Wally to his friends, the Dragonborn Wizard, a lovely gentleman in the later years of his life, a professorly sort of bloke. He's been to all the greatest universities and taught in all of them. But he set out looking for more knowledge, more experience, after all. Living life is the best teacher. And at some point he had one of his very first learning experiences in the ways of the world was with a certain handsy boy rapscallion who you will be introduced to very shortly.
And I believe you were a sorcerer, yes?
A wizard.
Wizard, yes. Don't know why I said sorcerer. Anyway, speaking of that wily fella, D, would you like to introduce yourself?
Fernando Charfel, handsy boy extraordinaire. Actually, he's a ranger. He is handsome. He is very much aware he's handsome. Even when being thrown out of a window, he's got this kind of air of arrogance. Slender, light, soft-featured. He is covered with scrapes and bruises, and looks like he's seen some better days. But in terms of how he's looking right now, but this young man he just can't help it. He's even more handsome with a little bit of roguish, beat up look to himself. And his hair is always of great concern. Wavy brown hair is always of great concern. Light skin tone, dark eyes, smoldering.
Here comes the smolder.
Yes.
Alright. I see. You've joined the club and made yourself a delightful little creature, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I am playing. He's the Goblin. He is a fighter from the far region of Baldur's Gate, where he. I'm still kind of constructing this backstory in my head. He grew up as a rather unintelligent, almost feral goblin, until he was caught stealing food from the local gladiatorial arena. He was then put to work, hoping to at least get a few good fights out of him before he was, summarily put out of his misery. But it seemed he had a aptitude for fighting. The arena owner then took great interest in him and took him in, trained him to fight better, and gave him a bit of an education. He earned the name Cheese because he was rather fond of cheese with every meal. And would go crazy for it if it was put out.
And lastly, we have our beloved DM of another game, Sephi, bringing back another old friend.
Yeah. This is Ashani. She is a nun from the Order of the Seven Graces from Ventral City. She is a 5'7" winged tiefling. Basically, in what can only be described as a stripperific nun's outfit. On her hip is a whip. She has a bow, has a light hammer, and she is a cleric of Sune.
Excellent. Okay, so now we have everyone relatively introduced. The town is setting up for the festival, as I've mentioned. The town square in front of you, although woefully underpopulated at the moment, is bustling with people building stalls, games, and making preparations for the festival. Ahead of you, and in the centre of the town, is a what was originally a keep has been transformed into a manor house and town hall. The old stone walls have been built all upon. It's a little bit more grand, less defensible, more impressive at this stage. But that is where the seat of the government of this city lives now. Mm-hmm. There are a few shops and taverns and such pattered around, so you now have a few minutes to decide if you want to go to a shop and purchase anything, or are you happy enough just to go?
I see. Now
Here we get going.
Okay.
Just a moment. Fernando, I don't suppose you have any of the money that you pilfered from our previous excursion?
Pat. Changed position of hands. Pat. Oh, yeah, the money. This is a dangerous place. You don't hold on to something like that. You invest it and then you collect it later. They let them do the carrying for you. I've included you as part of this. You're going to see a big return on your investment. I promise.
So in other words, you don't have it.
I was holding it for all of you.
Yes, you're holding it rather tightly as you ran from the village.
To be honest, I had no choice. The situation got out of control.
Yes, they threw tomatoes at me, Fernando. Tomatoes! The indignity of it all.
Well, soon enough, once we're done with this, you'll be able to buy as many tomatoes as you want, Willie. Come on, let's go.
Yes. Speaking of indignity, while he's gonna prestidigitate Fernando's friggin' hair, get all the grass out of it, he's gonna adjust his clothes. Like, is Fernando's outfit, like, dinged up? Are there tears?
Yes.
He looks like he got into a small bar fight before he got thrown out through a window.
Yes.
So Wally, like a concerned but stern parent, is just like not to saying anything, but he's just like fixing Fernando's outfit up. Oh, dear boy, you're going to get yourself killed one of these days.
Thank you, Willie. You see, just for that, you're going to get 20% more than you got before.
Oh, you're too kind.
Thanks. Let's go.
While these two are faffing around, Cheese is like, I'm gonna start going.
Yes.
The merchant gave you vague directions towards his farm, which was essentially go east until you see a windmill and then go north. So, you just make your way out of the city if you don't want to go to a shop. So we'll head out the Woodgate. Now then, you aren't really all that familiar with these parts, so you do take a little bit of looking around to figure out, okay, where do we go? You follow the road. Everything seems okay. You come across a few people heading from the farmhouses around the general area in towards the town for the festival. You see a few carts loaded up with bits and pieces. You do come across one fellow whose cart appears to have thrown a wheel. At the minute he's struggling and swearing and trying to get the oxen to pull the heavy cart, which he has a large cloth thrown over. Do you walk past him or do you want to talk to him?
I mean, Wally knows mending. That could probably help. Let's see.
Have a look and see what's wrong with the wagon?
Yes.
Roll me an investigation.
Now, here's the thing. The fun thing about Wally is his passive investigation is 22. May I use that?
Hi!
He is a very smart boy, max intelligence, and I have the observant feat. So, 17 plus 5 is 22. But if you'd rather I still roll for it, I will roll.
Yeah, I would say probably still roll for that, but yeah, sure. Go ahead. With the observant feat, it was like, wait, what? You're in level 4! Anyway, I keep forgetting you guys make broken characters. I love it. You go over to have a closer look, and it looks like the back wheel of the wagon essentially hit a rock, which caused the wagon to jump and the wheel slid off the axle.
Okay.
So the wheel itself, it's a pretty big wheel. It's like a 3-foot iron-bound wheel, and with the weight of the wagon, there's no hope this little guy on his own is going to be able to lift it and just slide the wheel back on. So the question is, do you just want to try and help, or do you just want to walk on and leave him?
Well, what's the rest of the party's vibe on this?
I think we should try to help.
Never let it be said that I'm not magnanimous.
Good. Seems like everyone wants to pitch in and help.
Sure.
I'll lift the wagon.
Anyone who's going to try and... Well, this little guy's also going to help as well. So, who's going to lift the wagon? Who's going to handle the wheel?
Shani's going to help lift the wagon.
Yep, he's going to as well.
And Than is going to help with the wheel.
Same with Walls.
Okay, only one person's really needed for the wheel. So, I would like those who are lifting the wagon to roll strength checks. And let me get my dice for my little guy. Okay. So, easy enough. He gets this cart weighed down with a lot of stuff, but with these all working together, you've managed to lift it just enough that Theanu is able to get the wheel in. And with a generous application of a mallet, seemingly taking out years of frustration, the little man manages to hammer back on the hubcap and get the wagon going again. He seems a little grateful for your help, but also wants you to move on. It's just like, okay, thank you. I just got to get everything ready, and then I'll see you at the festival. As he clams on.
Not a problem. I hope you have a very good day, sir.
Oh, I'll have a great day. Bye. Starts the, whips the oxen. Off it goes.
These might not be that smart, but he'd like to roll insight.
Yeah,
Sure.
actually, Thanenyo is very suspicious of that. He's trying to get a vibe on that guy.
Roll insight.
Yeah.
So I find it. There we go. God damn it.
He's just cranky because his terrible driving broke his wagon.
See, that's why you have to invest, so you don't end up doing hard labor when you're that age.
He's in his 30s.
Thanenyo is 19.
Fair point. I am at
Everybody
the stage of
30
my life
up is
where
old.
I think that 18 and 19-year-olds are children, so...
Yep,
say that.
but they're babies.
I feel so old. So, just make your way further on east. He's finally come, after a few hours of travel, he's finally come to the windmill and make your way on the northern road as you come to the crossroad. Since you've gotten this far, though, you haven't noticed a lot of traffic on this road from that fork. Things seem a little quiet. While you were on the main road, while you were on the main road, there was a lot of people traveling towards the town. Festivals are a big deal in this area. They are week-long events. You have people bringing goods to sell, empty carts for people planning to buy things. But once you hit that fork, this road's been pretty quiet. I would like everyone to make me a perception check.
May I use my passive perception of 17?
No.
Okay.
I'm calling for an active check.
Okay.
Thanenyo took a really hard blow to the head, so, you know.
Then he was distracted and walked into a low-hanging branch.
Yes.
Okay.
Ah!
That's what you get for preening yourself all the time, dear boy.
It's not preening, it's presentability.
It's pretty.
We must all look our best.
Fair point. So you spent some time looking around, and you can't quite find any reason this would happen. You don't see the telltale signs of ambushes or anything like that, so you're not sure, but you continue on the road a little bit more wary, because the sounds of the forest have also gotten very muted. So these are a little bit on your guard. Eventually, the DM forgot to put you on the map. Eventually, you come a little further on down the road, closer to the farm, and you notice something. The center of the road. Just let me get things going.
The horse.
I set this map up in a few minutes. Also, you may recognize this map.
Oh, it seems so new.
It's the one I used
Oh
with
no!
every other road encounter in the Strat.
Don't worry. I'm doing the exact same thing with my game. I have one road, one forest, one marsh, and probably one desert, and that's all you guys are gonna see.
To be fair, Final Fantasy is the same with its like battle background, so it works.
Yeah. So, you approach, and you see there are 2 wagons on the road. One of which is overturned, spilling its goods across the roadside. The other one, you don't see any. It looks to be a heavily laden cart as well, not as big as the other, but it's slightly askew on the road. The oxen that appear to be pulling it, by evidence of the yoke that's still attached to the cart, is not there. You do see there is a horse currently lying on the ground in front of the overturned wagon. What would you like to do?
This doesn't look good.
Fenenyo actually heads over and to investigate, and he actually stops to look at what's going on with the horse.
Yeah, so does
Roll me an
so does
investigation
cheese.
check.
Should I move up to here?
Yeah. Daniel and
Okay.
Cheese, move ahead.
Cheese
Investigation.
is gonna pull out his scimitar and poke the horse.
Fenenyo is like looking around, just like,
Cheese, you poke the horse. You
Don't
stab
do
it with
that.
your pokey stick. Doesn't appear to bleed. It's not breathing. This horse is dead.
Sometimes there's
Stop
things
beating the
inside
dead
that.
horse, Cheese.
Yes.
Daniel,
Sometimes things
Poke,
you can
poke.
trust me. You don't want to burst one of these. It won't be fun.
Daniel, you look over this horse. As your goblin companion has determined, this horse is dead. You decide to look a little bit further into this. You crouch down, you give it
Yeah.
like a little touch. This horse is cold. It has been dead for probably a few hours, but not much more than that.
More so, he wants to know if he can tell what killed it.
I'm getting to that.
Oh,
As you-
sorry.
No problem, don't worry. As you look over the horse, you see around its legs and its haunches, it looks like there are scratches and bites. And by the looks of the horse, the actual thing that caused it to die is its neck is broken. Looking from the horse to the wagon, it's still tangled up in its tack. You can see from the tracks leading from the wagon to where it is, something startled the horse, and as it ran, trying to get away, the wagon collided with the cliff and overturned, and as it overturned, the weight of it threw the horse.
Fenenyo relates that back, but also adds to that. Does it, and so just to make sure I'm clear, does it look like some tiny critters bit the horse's legs? Is that what we're getting from this? Would I have to roll more? Because that's what she's
Nature.
trying, or that's what he's trying to figure out.
Roll
Nature.
Okay. You start looking over the bites and scratches. They look canine as far as you can see. Maybe wolves. You look at the scratch marks. Normally when wolves hunt, they don't tend to hunt with their claws. They tend to go with their teeth. So seeing a lot of claw marks around the horse's flanks is a little unusual. And so you're not entirely sure what would have caused this. The bite marks themselves, you would say, are about the size of your palm. Not overly large, not small.
And Fenenyo says, look at this. Look at the legs. Bite marks. Like a wolf, but these scratches, that's something else.
It could
And
be
he
wild
says,
It could be wildcats.
or maybe
Looking at the
something that
bites?
works with wolves. Sorry, go ahead.
Then you would know that there are no enlarged canines that would indicate a feline.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, you'd be able to tell if there were cats from these bite marks. This is not cats, and this is something else. And Fenrir looks distracted, and he's actually going to like head down and look at the ground to see if he can spot tracks, because something that did this may have left something behind. He's like, look for tracks, everybody.
Roll survival check. You see a lot of footprints. Boot prints. You don't see any animal tracks aside from the odd broad hoof or cloven hoof of oxen and horse that you would normally see on a dusty road. But those
Wait a minute.
look relatively old.
Wait a minute. Cats. No tracks. I'm getting an idea and I don't like it.
Are they in the trees?
Or maybe kitty whippings are nearby.
I don't like this.
But you can see that the tracks themselves, the boot prints that you can see, a few of them you're able to trace back to around here, where there is a body print on the road. So someone who got thrown from this wagon got up and walked away. You see there are several other boot prints coming from this wagon over to here, and then they seem to join the tracks moving further on down the road.
I'm going to ask you a very fast question, Jonas.
Yes. While Tanya was asking me a question, does anyone else want to do anything else?
Now, I have a serious question. And this may be entirely fruitless, but I am getting, like, Displacer Beast vibes. Now, would a roll to identify if this may have been done by a Displacer Beast, or beasts, would that be an Arcana check, or... Because, like, Displacer Beasts aren't exactly natural.
Sure, you can try either a nature or an arcana.
Well, since I have a +7 to Arcana...
I'm going to mute for a minute. I'll be right back.
You have a look around looking for any trace of magical beasts that you'd be aware of, any special scents or auras or anything like that, and you see nothing that... You see no evidence of displacer beasts.
Bugger. But you
Normally,
did...
displacer beasts would scratch into trees to sharpen their claws, and you see nothing like that in that area.
Okay, well, because we're still waiting for D, I'm also ritual cast Detect Magic. So within 30 feet, I should be able to see if there's anything amiss.
You sense no magical items.
But it's not just items, it's just magical business and all.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
You sense no magical items or auras within the 30 feet of you.
Bugger.
Actually, I'm telling a lie. You do sense the presence of a magical item on Sister Ashini.
Of course. That just makes sense.
Oh, wait. Cheese is going to down on the ground and kind of sniff around. See if he can pick up any scents.
Sure. Are you looking for anything in particular?
I'd say from his gubernatorial history, he knows a lot of like wolf smells and lion smells and predator smells, basically.
Okay. Roll me a perception.
Perception?
Music seems to be working okay for me. Anyone else not hearing the music?
No music for me.
No.
Music for you guys.
Gotta love the Roll20 jukebox.
Love it.
How about
Ah,
now?
there we go.
There it is.
There we are.
Yep, now I got it.
Okay. So, with that perception check, ooh, delicious. Geez, you get down and you start sniffing. channeling back your old hunting from your feral goblin days where you subsisted on rats and squirrels and hi Chi. You sense, you sniff and smell, and you sense all the usual tiny critters, rats, squirrels, chipmunks, etc. You focus yourself, looking for maybe trying to find something bigger. Don't really come across anything that well, but then something catches your nostrils. A familiar scent.
Yeah.
Hi, man. Why are you screaming at me? There you are. A familiar scent. One that just triggers in your mind. Everyone watches as Cheese kind of straightens up. His head turning like a pointer dog. His pupils get wide and he starts to grin as Cheese smells cheese. From over here. You smell no predators in the immediate area, but you smell food. And lots of food.
He's immediately bolts it over to the cart and just starts trying to use the scimitar to pull open the cart.
Yeah, it's a covered wagon. You pull it open. You find a box that has several cheeses wrapped up in cheesecloth.
That isn't ours. You can't take that.
As Wooly and the sister come over behind you, without the deficit of Cheese's single-mindedness, you look over the wagon and you see this wagon is stuffed with food. There are baskets of bread and cheeses, one of which currently is now occupied by a goblin, eating cheese. There are a few bushels of apples. There is a crate which apparently is carrying smoked hams and cheese and such. It looks like this wagon was on its way to the festival. And it has been entirely untouched. Looking over to the other wagon, you can also see that it is full of kegs and barrels, which are now currently spelling out. Sorry, go on, Mike.
Can I try something?
Sure.
One of those little animals that he sniffed out. Can I see if there's an animal close by that I could ask what happened?
Roll a perception check.
Sean's going to quickly investigate the barrels.
And an investigation check from Ashani. Sigrid, you spot way over in this tree over here a raven.
Can I talk to the raven?
You can go and talk to the raven.
Yes.
Sister Ashani, this wagon is full of kegs and barrels of varying sizes, and they all bear the mark of the stall that the merchant was at who hired you.
Well, I believe that we found we found his cart, but I don't know. Would it be worth us just transferring everything into this wagon and then we would need something to pull it? But
I mean, we have a druid, do we not? I assume the lovely elven lady.
Yes,
will be
I
willing
was not exactly. That is true, but I was not exactly going to open with. Would you mind turning yourself into a horse so we could take this wagon back to the town?
As he's discussing this, he's turned to look at your druidic friend, who appears to be looking up to a tree and going, "Hey, bird!" As you approach, the raven shifts its attention down to you, Sigrid.
Yes. I basically just want to ask it what happened here. If it knows what creature attacked
Do you have an
cart.
ability that allows you to speak to animals, or are you going to use a spell?
I was going to speak with animals.
Okay, you go ahead and cast Speak with Animals. You walk up, ask the raven, "What did you see?" The little raven tilts its head, first seemingly a little confused that it can understand you. And then it goes, just basically lays out. I'm not going to do a voice for the raven. The raven lays out that there was a large commotion over here. It heard many men shouting. It heard an argument. And then it heard the horse crying and the crashing. It came to find out what was going on, and it saw the horse dead and many men walking away. And as it was waiting to make sure no other creatures came to claim its feast, the other man came, this wagon, and as he was investigating, one of the men who stayed behind attacked him. They struggled and rolled on the ground, and after a while they got up, stared at each other, and walked down the road.
Huh. Okay. I will relay this to the others.
The raven had all that to say, huh? Yeah. Yeah, they're chatty birds.
The raven. Blah 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 blah.
That's so
She relays
raven.
this while the rest of the party just heard caw.
You nasty.
So it was humans.
It didn't specify human, he just said people.
What people? But he didn't see exactly what had attacked the horse. He just heard it.
Yeah, he didn't see.
I
All
see.
he knows is that whenever he landed, he saw a number of men struggling. They seemed to stop fighting. Many of them walked away. One stayed behind. When the new man came, they struggled for a bit, and then they got up and walked away. And while they were fighting, the oxen broke its tethers and ran away. It was scared.
Well, it's more information than we had before. Thanks a lot, Flower Princess. Nice job.
You're welcome.
I'm presuming that they both walked off together in the same direction.
Raven said it went that way.
Yep.
I suspect they could have been under the influence of some sort of charm spell.
Yeah. It's kind of like possession or something.
God, I wish I was as popular with real people as I was with fucking bots. Anyway.
I feel that.
Well, we should make sure to secure the carts for taking them back to the town. We also need to retrieve our little goblin friend from, well, the meal he's enjoying.
Speaking of cheese, are you actually gorging yourself, or are you just nibbling?
He's made his way through one wheel of cheese so far. About to start on the second.
No, that isn't ours. We have to deliver that to the town.
No, it's my cheese. I found it.
Come now, my goblinoid friend. There'll be plenty
No.
of cheese for you to eat once we return to the festival as heroes.
You're good. Please stop being so naughty, otherwise I will have to. Well, can I see her resting her hand on the whip?
Hey. My good goblin friend. There's a lot more tasty cheese back in town. Way better than this stuff. It's a festival. Maybe it's a festival of cheese. You never know until you find out. Just think about it.
Say, as Shauna puts her hand on her whip, she just kind of drops the second wheel and just hops out of the wagon.
See, isn't it better when you're a good boy? She gotta give me a head pat.
I can just picture that he already has several bits of smaller slices shoved in his pockets. So, what do you intend to do?
I think they were asking if I could turn into a horse and pull the carts back.
I think we need to shelve that for now.
Okay. No problem.
All right, forgive me. It's a bit too hot in here right now, so it's kind of messing with my head. Right, I believe a good idea would be to put the good casks and barrels in the the unspoiled cart. Then we move that out of the road, hide it behind some of the trees or something. And then when we're done dealing with these people who may or may not be possessed, then when we can come back to it later. And who knows, maybe we'll find a wild horse or some other animal who could pull the cart. But if not, we do have our druid friend.
Raven did say the oxen ran to the south.
See, there we go. There's an oxen.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's
That
go get
sounds
them.
like a good one. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say we transfer the barrels to the food cart and then probably we drag it somewhere to. Where's the best place to drag it to?
Maybe between these two trees over here to the left.
Yeah, that's probably the best place to go.
Okay. You're able to do that. You can't move the wagon before you put the barrels in it. The way it is now, yous working together, yous are able to move it, but once you start putting in the kegs, it becomes too heavy. Unless you'd want to try and find the oxen. So, do you want to move the wagon and then move the barrels one by one across the road? Or...
Yeah. I believe that's the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're making me go into the map layer and edit the map.
I'm very sorry,
You're
myself.
welcome.
Oh heavens! How dare we?
I'm very sorry myself, but could you ask your Raven friend to keep an eye on the wagon for us if he's going to stay and, enjoy his own meal?
Oh, sure. Can I ask the Raven to do that? Do I need to roll anything?
Roll persuasion.
Okay.
If all else fails, bribe it with a shiny coin.
Raven kind of tilts his head and is like, what do you expect me to do? I'm a bird.
If anybody touches
tell
it,
you what happens to it, but I can't stop anyone doing anything with it.
you could peck them in the eyes, though. Eyeballs are good protein.
Yeah, but things tend to fight
Yeah.
back when you do that.
They're not eyeballs, they're walnuts.
I'll tell you what, I'll keep an eye on it, but I ain't putting myself in danger to protect it.
That's fair. I wouldn't want you to.
Now that is just now that he realizes that you guys aren't in danger, he goes over and he just starts going at the horse.
Yeah. Chow down.
So, what's next? You take probably the better part of 45 minutes to an hour to move the cargo. I would say he's all working together. I'll not require a strength check to move the wagon.
50 gold is 50 gold, but I didn't really count on heavy lifting.
He's going to move the wagon and realize that the Anu's just kind of poking it with one hand and not really putting any muscle into it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Jurnus. That's exactly what I was going for.
I'd say you can definitely see Ashani works out.
Okay.
Yeah, Steph, I believe you do this on purpose now, because you know it gets a reaction out of me.
Hey, she's got a 16 strength.
Yes, buff cleric. Anyway, don't mind me being thirsty.
So, what's next? Now that you have successfully moved the cart?
Yes, well, I believe we have an oxen to catch up with, yes? To the south, was it?
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Then Ennio sort of stretches his hands out, cracks his knuckles, and says, let a tracker do the tracking. And tries to follow the oxen trail as best he can.
Okay.
Yes, and we'll keep a track of the tracker.
Roll survival.
Ah!
Sorry, actually. He keeps getting distracted. He keeps getting distracted by Flower Princess.
Sure. It's relatively easy to follow the oxen. Really? Stop turning off the light when I'm still in the room! He does this all the fucking time. Anyway, he leaves the room and turns off the light.
Hello,
Sorry.
darkness, my old friend.
Yeah. It's
Didn't turn
relatively
off the
easy
light
to
then.
follow the oxen because, as the raven said, it was scared and it just went through the brush like a panicking oxen, funnily enough. So, despite Theanio's distraction, you're able to follow the very clearly defined, charged tunnel through the undergrowth. And eventually, probably about 15 minutes walk, you find the oxen with half its tack still onto it and the yoke on its shoulders, just kind of chilling out near a river to getting a drink.
Ashani is there anything she can use as a stake nearby?
The trees.
Yeah, she just gets out the rope she's got and she's going to very carefully approach the oxen.
Roll animal handling.
If that doesn't work, I can try something.
Wally would like to make a perception check because this feels too easy, too idyllic.
Alright.
I'm with Fernando. It can't be this easy. Ah!
You look around and you don't see anything else in the area other than this beast of burden. But, Ishani, you're able to approach. You approach holding out your hand, nice and slow, approaching it from the front as to not scare it. And this is a fairly domesticated beast of burden. As soon as you put your hand on it and start guiding it by its nose ring, it just follows you wherever you want to lead it to.
Okay, is it a male oxen or female?
You all watch as the sister kind of turns and ducks to look under the oxen. It is a male.
Okay, beautiful boy, come with me. We're going to just find somewhere safe to put you, then we'll get you back on the cart, and we'll get you back into town. You just need to do a little thing first, okay?
Just kind of paws the earth and follows after you.
She's kind of giving him little scritches and little pats that she's doing. She's leading him towards one of the trees.
He seems happy enough.
She's leading him back towards the party, basically.
Okay. So, do you bring him back to relative where the cart is?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Fair. Easily done. As I say, he's a fairly domesticated one, so it doesn't really take much to coax him through. You have to kind of prod him to get him through some of the thicker undergrowth, but he follows with no issues. So, you return back to the road. You have your oxen. You have your cart. What next?
Right, remind the player, this was our objective, wasn't it? To basically just pick up this shipment and then bring it back to town.
Yep.
That wasn't just... Okay.
You were set to get the wine casks.
Well, we'll take the wine back to town, but afterwards I want to come back here and investigate a little more what happened.
I have no objections to that, dear sister. This does seem to be rather too straightforward.
And
So,
Fenenio nods with agreement and says, "Yes, we should all of us should come back here and investigate this more."
Wally squints at Fernando. It's nice to see you developed a bit of work ethic since the last time we were on a venture together, Fernando.
I always pay attention to my surroundings.
alright.
Shan just kind of strokes, so she goes, I do hope you're not planning to be naughty, Mr. Fernando.
Never perish the thought. My good friend Wooly and I have worked together before, and he can attest, can't you, Wooly, that I'm a completely trustworthy individual in the long run.
In the long run. I love how he specifies that. So,
To be honest, I'm not even going to ask to inside that. It's obvious.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a shifty fucker.
Yeah. Yeah, Wally doesn't even dignify that with a response.
So, the oxen still has the yoke and a good portion of the tack attached to it. The other half of the tack is still attached to the wagon. Some of it is broken, but with getting some of the leather straps from the horse's tack, you're able to makeshift new reins and such, and you're able to get the oxen going. He's a good strong beast, so he can get that going.
I also got mending spells. Pew, 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 pew.
So, it's no real problem. The only thing you have to worry about is Cheese disappeared for a few minutes and you found him in the back of the wagon, back in the cheese basket. But he's able to make your way back down the road. Keeping an eye out to see if you can spot anything on the way. He's come back to the fork. And you're on main road back to the... What? Stop texting me, Jesus. On your way back to the town. Now, getting out there took you probably the better part of 2 to 3 hours. You faffed around where you were for, again, nearly 2 hours. And you're heading back. So by the time you see the walls, it's getting close to the evening. You're cutting it close when the merchant wanted you to get back in time, but you'll make it before the festival starts. The festival starts at sundown. You still have a good 45 minutes or so before sundown hits proper. You enter into the city. And you notice the gate guard's not there.
Uh-oh.
You just look around. You just realize the streets are kind of empty.
Not much of a festival, huh?
It's kind of quiet.
Hey,
But
everybody.
again, the festival's due to start. Maybe they just all went there.
Fernando doesn't really like this, and he looks at the others and says, "Stay as cool as a cold one, everybody."
Okay, hold on a second. Ashani is going to use her 30 feet of flight straight up, and she's going to scout around, basically.
My map's all blurry.
Yeah.
It's a big map, so it's going to take a while to
It'll
load.
take a moment to load, unfortunately. Alright, you fly straight up and look around. You can see there's a lot of light, fire. The lanterns and the lights and all are dotted around the city, but you do see there's a big concentration of light near the city centre, and you can see there's a crowd there. And that's where you started, that's where the festival square was.
She's going to basically come back down very elegantly, very poetic, land gracefully, and go, it looks as though everyone's in the main square.
Ah, see, great. Nothing to worry about. In that case, ladies, and he puts his arms out to either side and starts walking like, you guys can join me if you want.
Are you just taking the oxen with you, or are you just leaving at the stables for now?
I
I
mean,
mean, it's going to slow us down if something is wrong.
yeah, I mean, we gotta get this cart right to the merchant now, right?
Exactly. So
So we gotta take the oxen through town. Unless you want us to haul a cart ourselves, which will take longer.
Yeah, you physically do. You're even with all of you. You are physically not strong enough to move that cart by yourselves.
Yeah, I left my beefy boys in other campaigns.
Alright, just let me. So you start making your way through the streets, and again, it's pretty quiet, but you can hear what sounds like the roar of a crowd further on into this town. This is a bit of a cluttered city, so you can't see through the streets or anything. So you just assume maybe it's the festival starting. You just get a fair bit through. Bear with me, I'm just getting... I didn't expect you to bring the cart, so I'm swapping it.
How else are we supposed to get all the goods back?
This is still... I'm going to reload because it's still all blurry to me.
Yeah, it's still blurred in
It's-
reality. I've
going to say, if you try zooming out as far as you can, Icy, then zooming back in, that's what fixed it for me.
See, I was worried this would happen, so I made a smaller map.
What? Okay, fine.
Oh, come on.
I must say, the architecture around here seems very Waterdavian.
Yeah, and there we are. The map skews slightly off the grid. So,
It's so cute.
I can't find an oxen token, so the oxen is invisible for all intents and purposes. Now,
The ghost oxen.
As you're getting closer to the center of town, Wooly, with your passive perception, you start to notice something.
Oh, yeah?
On the ground, you see a few tendrils of what looks like mist.
Oh.
It's
okay.
only maybe an inch and a half, and there's a few wisps, but it sometimes happens near rivers and marshland, so not entirely unusual for this area, but it seems strange that it would be around before sunset.
Does anyone else see those sort of, misty, tendrils along the ground?
Considering that Ennio is a ranger, would that be unusual to him too if it was pointed out?
You wouldn't know much more than what Willie would have described there, that it's unusual for it to be appearing in such small wisps before sunset.
That's what I mean. He would know that too.
Yeah, it's unusual.
Yeah. Well, he's right. It's a little weird.
Yes, I'm going to try and see if there's anything amiss, and I'm going to ritual cast Detect Magic.
Yes, a miss in the mist.
Aside from the magical item that you've already seen on Sister Sunny, you can't detect any other magical auras within
Rats.
range of the spell.
And Ennio's sword.
And then your sword. I forgot I gave that to you in the last campaign.
Yeah.
Fernando's sword, magical. Ha!
Yes.
Willie will remember that. So as you're guiding the oxen down the street, and Wooly and Thianu have this conversation about these tiny wisps of mist, you notice here there's a man seemingly digging through a barrel.
Is he, what's his manner as he digs through it? Is it particularly, urgent, panicked, something like that?
He doesn't look panicked or urgent, but he seems... whatever he's trying to grasp for is eluding his grasp. So he's leaning in there and he's just rummaging, from what you can see.
Does he look put together, or is there anything odd about this gentleman?
Aside from the fact that he appears to be on his own in the street, you can't tell from this distance.
Thanenio starts approaching and raises a hand to the others and says, "Hey, friend, you all right there?"
Do you move forward? How
Yeah,
close do you get?
I wasn't. Step, hey, friends. Step, hey, friends. Excuse me. Step, hey, friend. Step, you all right there? So, like, about 3-4 steps.
No.
So I'd say, like, to there. Or there.
Okay.
Whatever seems logical.
Hang on, he doesn't respond to you. He's focused on whatever's in the barrel.
Benigno is getting an odd vibe and starts heading forward. Looking back at the others like, "This doesn't smell right," he says, and then he starts heading forward. He's trying to look for he wants to get a better look at the guy.
Jesus, joining them.
Okay. Roll perception.
Yeah.
Perception.
Okay.
Fernando's got this. Rare sentence.
Fernando's always got this.
The guy is wearing a sleeveless shirt, and he looks like he's got a thick leather apron on him. He's muscled, and he's got a few burns up his arms, so he looks like he was a blacksmith. He's got thick, wiry, bristly hair. You notice that he's missing a boot, and there appears to be a slight tear in his trousers. And Thiano, you can hear squeaking from the barrel. Like little... It sounds like a rat.
He's going after a rat.
It's good.
That'll go very nicely with that cheese you had.
Not during the festival. Willie, I don't like this. I really don't like this. Something's up.
It is most.
Can you make something pop next to that guy?
Let me see what I have prepared. I'm checking my spells. I do apologize.
Sure.
Oh boy.
Yes, I'm afraid I have nothing quite as grand as that in my possession right now, Fernando. Unless you want me to set him on fire.
No, that won't be necessary just yet. But hold on to that idea. Then you, hey, can I help you with something? You here for the festival? You know what's going on?
As you start shouting, the barrel kind of shifts as if you've startled the man, and he seems to struggle to get out of the barrel for half a second as he extracts his shoulders, and he turns to look at you. In one hand, he has a struggling rat by the tail, and you notice that he has another rat in his mouth that's just hanging. His blood is dripping down into his beard, and he just glares at you.
Okay, thought. Where at, maybe? Like, is there an Arcana check that can help with that?
Sure.
Thank you. Arcana. 20.
Okay. Normally, shape-shifting creatures tend to take on the features of whatever they take into. For example, the hair would get wiry and such. They would have elongated ears pointing whenever they shapeshift. This appears to be a man, but there's something in his expression that you just can't fully place. And as you're thinking on this, he drops both rats and starts moving towards you.
Oh no.
I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Damn it.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, I was gonna say something!
Hang on, let me get the turn order. There it is.
Now, I'd like to
Right.
ask permission for something.
Yeah.
Because while he used his big brain and managed to piece like, hey, this doesn't seem right, and the bad vibe starts settling in, may I apply mage armor before rolling initiative?
I would say. Sure, okay.
Thank you, you're very kind.
To support that, Thanenio did tell him to have be ready to burn a person. So, you know.
Aye. Okay. Wally's mage armor is. Okay.
Oh, my for the first time in ever, my initiative actually appears in the side order.
Hooray!
It never works.
It gave me an error message.
Oh no, the curse has moved.
Oh, you have to click on your token to do it, but it's already you rolled it, so I'll just add you on there manually.
Oh, okay, thank you. Dennis, I can't hear you from in here.
Hell!
Oh, jeez.
+3 to, or +2 to my initiative.
Okay, now
I was just repeating what they said. You
Hold on.
just need to.
I'm sticking a commoner on the cart. This is just a turn tracker, so you can ignore him. So he's basically top of the round. I'm going to put him in initiative order 0. Okay.
Duration keeps you safe and always makes your armor fair.
Oh, yeah.
Essentially, I could put him on the DM layer, but then that would get me to swap a lot, and I don't want to do that. So, let's do something a little bit more... Excellent. So then, Wilmorn, Wooly,
Hi!
this man is coming to you pretty quickly.
Aye. And I will do something about it, but first, Fernando, you've seen Wally cast mage armor before. It's normally just like a shimmering sort of like visage of a shield and it sinks into him and then it's vanished. But this time around, when he cast it, a sort of like translucent bubble, a shimmering bubble has enveloped him and it is sticking to him like glue.
Nice.
Yes, Wally has an arcane ward now that will absorb some damage for him should it come to that. So just letting the DM know that that is a thing.
Excellent.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so this gentleman, if you can call him that, is advancing upon me. What do I want to do first? Well, let's see what the range of Firebolt is. Yeah, it's pretty hard range. Right. I'm gonna back up.
Fireball and only fireball.
And yeet a firebolt to this gentleman. 15.
That'll hit.
Excellent. For 8 points of fire damage.
He crumples to the ground.
What?
He
Oh.
crumples to the ground and isn't moving. The rat that he had in his fist wriggles free and runs away.
Wait.
Something's not right.
Was it
That's
the rat?
Oh, that sounds smart.
I guess that's my turn.
I wish this game were meta so I could be all, I don't like the lack of red X.
Yeah.
Okay. Sigrid, what are you doing?
Um. Is he was the only one that was there. Heck, I don't know. I guess. Fuck. What happened to the rats?
One of the
Or
rats.
there were.
Actually,
Go
you know
ahead,
what?
sorry.
Let me just. Oh, come on, really? Why are you doing this to me, Roll20? Okay, you know what? It's not giving me just a simple rat icon, so this guy will do as where the rat is. The rat's just scurrying along the front of the building.
Out of curiosity, Jonas, is the detect magic while you ritual cast a little bit ago, is that still active, would you say?
I would say yes.
Alrighty, thank you very much. I'm gonna add a concentration token then. Because it's a concentration spell.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna add an aura! So I can see the magic! Because something's not right here!
Yeah.
Can I try and get the rat to come over to me? I don't know what else to do.
You'd have to cast Speak with Animals again, wouldn't you?
I would like you to make me a perception check.
Okay.
Now, the entire time you've been walking home, the oxen has been relatively calm and very gentle. Now, however, it is shifting and pulling and basically struggling against its tack. The wagon is starting to creak and groan as the oxen is shifting around nervously.
That's not good. Let's see. Sorry, bear with me, guys. He already cast Detect Magic. Can I? Yeah, I'm not sure what to do. Can I just pass for this turn?
Sure.
I don't know what to do. Okay, sorry.
If you really want, you can take your turn to roll animal handling and try and calm the oxen.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, I'll do that.
Roll animal handling. Okay.
Look that we're all freaking terrified of a man and a rat because we know Jonas so well.
I don't know whether I should
Like-
be happy with the compliment or mildly insulted, but despite the druid's best
compliment.
efforts, the oxen does not calm down. Nathaniel,
No.
what are you gonna do?
Yes.
So this guy crumpled to the ground.
Yep.
I lost the signal briefly. What is happening here? That's the rat.
That's the rat that was in his grip that he dropped when he fell.
And did the druid try speaking with animals on the rat? Because I lost that part too.
No, she didn't want a Wister spell.
So, Fan is going to try to speak with animal, as Than is wont to do.
That's alright, don't worry about Mick. Okay, you have one very quick question to shout at the rat. And whatever you do, do it with persuasion to see if he'll answer you.
Buddy, what's going on here? So you literally all hear Than, and you know. Talk to me. That kind of thing.
They're all trying to eat me! They're all trying to eat me!
I couldn't hear what you said, Jonas. I'm sorry.
They're all trying
Don't
to
eat me. Don't eat me.
They're all trying to eat me.
Then in that case, then Ennio says very quickly, "I'm a protector of rats. Get on board."
Alright, sure. With that persuasion check, the rat is now looking at you.
He's like gesturing, like, "Hurry, come on!"
Sister?
Yep. Ashani is going to. How high is this roof?
I would say that roof is about 30 odd feet.
Right, so would she just fall short of it, or.
It's 30 feet up, and you are 15 feet away. So I would say you would get to the lip of it if you flew a diagonal.
Yeah, she's going to do that.
Remind me how you fly. Is it a spell?
Wings.
She has wings.
I forgot you had wings. So yeah, you could get to the lip of the roof.
Okay, she's going to try and fly up to the roof. She's going to try and position herself, and she's going to take another look around.
Roll perception. Okay, with that, and you're on the roof. Again, you can see over a few of the rooftops. A lot of these roofs are mishmash of different heights. You can see the light in the square, and you can hear the roar of the crowd. That's kind of far off and muffled by the streets. You do hear what sounds like someone moving, if I can use my pointer, over here, though.
She's just going to call down to. Let's see who's closest. Call down to Woolmore and goes, Professor Seafall, just to the north of you, behind this tent covering.
Yes, what is it, sister? Over here?
Yes.
Okay. So, you heard your cleric shout that there's something going on over there. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your bonus action?
There's not much she can do. She's just going to prep her whip.
Okay. So, you all would have heard her shout that down. So, Cheese, you now know that something's going on up there.
Alright, she's gonna move his way over there. If I can put my thing on right there. Thank you. 5, 10, 15, 20. Up over here, right?
Yep. There, if you look in between the buildings, there appears to be a temporary stall set up between them. It's covered in drapes to kind of like give it a room type feeling, but you can see through the drapes there is some movement in the area behind the stall.
So that's 20, 25, 30. And with one hand, he's going to open the curtain and hold an action for his scimitar.
Okay. The front of it is open. It's just that there's a curtain around here. You can see through a small gap from where you're standing. Let me get my ruler. From where you're standing, through a gap in the curtain, you can see there appears to be another person behind there, and you can see that they are now turning to look towards where you are. So you're holding your action?
Yep.
Okay. So, the man who crumpled to the ground is slowly getting back up.
Oh no.
No!
With a hole in his chest.
I don't like it.
And he is going to attack Diano. And I need the character sheet because I am smart. There it is. So he just tries to smack you with his bloodied hand. He rolls a 3, so he misses. As he goes to swipe Thianyu, you can see that there is actually a large portion of his neck that is missing. It looks like it's been torn out.
Nah, this is not what I signed up for.
The panic is setting in. I love it. So, and now comes the quote-unquote lair action. As the Anu shouts out, "This isn't what I signed up for," you start to hear rattling and rumbling. The man that Cheese saw is now stumbling through, getting caught up in the curtains, trips, and is lying there. But as he's caught in the curtains, he's pulled them down. You see that there is a woman behind him. You start to hear footsteps from the other side. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. As a woman is coming from here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
No.
25, 30. Five, 10, 15, 20, 25,
So
30.
I'm dead. I'm dead everywhere.
Surprised he didn't want a paladin.
Yeah, I wish Icarus were here, jeez!
Dennis is freaking out because I used the term lair actions. So, you look around and you start to see that there are a number of people now starting to appear out of alleyways. This man came out of a doorway. And they all have that same twisted expression on their face. Their mouths are kind of twisted into a snarl. Their eyes, however, seem dead and empty. All of them have injuries of some sort. This woman here, her skirt and shirt are torn. You can see she's got her underleathers and all. They're exposed from whatever armor she was wearing previously. This was an adventure you'd seen in the tavern earlier on, and the lower half of her jaw is just gone. This one over here, he's missing his arm. And they are all now looking at you and moving towards your group. So, Willie.
Hi! Thanks! So this bloody asshole had the nerve to get back up after being burned to death.
Yeah. You can see through his chest, by the way. You can see this man quite clearly through a large hole you blew in his chest.
Can I scared rat through his chest?
Yep.
Oh,
Oh yeah, lair action would count the rat. The rat has now scurried up and has hidden himself, ran up your pant leg, and is now hiding in one of your pouches.
yeah, that's...
Acquired a scared rat.
You're safe with me, buddy.
So,
Huh. Bet you guys didn't know that the Nanu could care about another person.
technically he's caring about a rat, which isn't a person.
I'm a ranger. Rats are people.
Damn straight!
Willow's having fun in the player chat there with the gifts. So, what do you do, Molly?
I don't know! I'm actually a bit stumped.
Oh, another thing. Again, I forgot about the lair action.
Oh
Sigrid,
no.
would you be so kind as to roll me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh no.
How many actions does this place have?
This was something that I was supposed to do and I forgot about it. Okay, you are able, despite your best efforts, the oxen is now going into full-blown panic. You manage to dodge out of the way as it tosses its head and just starts charging down the street.
Oh,
As it turns here to go down this alleyway, the wagon turns, flips, and crashes, spilling its goods all over the street as your hastily repaired reins and straps snap. The oxen charges down this street, and you notice these two people who appeared basically lunge and tear at the oxen, dragging bloody furrows down its side as it just disappears around the corner, making crashing noises. Your oxen is gone.
Aww.
Right, well, I'm no expert, but I reckon we're dealing with undead, sister. And I'm gonna cast undead levitate on this chappie here who's pestering Fernando.
You're levitating the guy?
Yeah, I can't kill him, so I might as well make it so that he can't hold up Fernando.
Oh, Wally.
So
it has to make a Constitution saving throw. If it succeeds, it's unaffected.
what do you have? What does he have to be?
15.
He fails.
Good.
Question
So, yeah.
before this. Sorry.
No, you first.
Can I attack of opportunity as he starts to levitate?
I mean, it is going up 20 feet.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, cause Than has a plan.
So yeah, he get raised 20 feet in the air. So go ahead and roll your attack of opportunity.
Than takes a swing with his short sword
That'll hit.
and does 9 damage. So what I was hoping is if I could get just like a brief description of what that does, because that's part of why Thanian is doing it.
The short sword?
Yeah, like what
It's-
is the effect of a gash? Like, does it?
It's... You swipe at him as he goes up and you manage to lob off a limb. Roll me a d4. Okay.
I think I did
you sever his left leg below the knee, and he seems to flop over limp.
In the air, of course.
Yeah, he's levitating, and now he just looks like a puppet that's been lifted up.
Right, and for the rest of Wally's turn, he's going to retreat back here, using his full mover to basically say, I suggest we retreat to a more defensible position.
Okay.
And Detect Magic is no more, since Levitate is also a concentration spell.
I was going to say that guy attacks you, but that's our turn order, guys, so I'm just going to move him onto the rooftop. Okay. Sigrid, what do you do?
Oh man. I have a question.
Yes.
If I cast Entangle, that would affect my party members as well, right?
It would, yes. You can, however, aim it so that they're outside the range.
Okay. Everyone's kind of inside the circle, though. Can I move onto one of the rooftops?
You can attempt to climb a building, yes.
Okay. Do I need to roll acrobatics or athletics?
I would say athletics, yeah.
Okay.
Alright. Are you trying to climb up beside the sister?
Yes.
All right. I would say. You are able to get over and start clambering up the building. You can't quite reach it to the top. However, if Sephi wants to use her reaction, she can pull you up so that you're at least sitting on the edge of the roof.
Yep, she'll do that.
Okay.
Yay.
So you're now there.
Awesome.
You don't have a secure footing because you ran out of movement before you got there. So you're kind of, you know that little awkward position where you've got your elbows up and you've got one leg up, and you're like,
Yeah.
You're kind of like that position right now. But in your next turn, you'll be able to steady yourself.
Okay, cool.
Theanyo.
Yes.
What are you doing?
And so Than is going to head back to where Wooly is. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But he's actually going to try to take a shot. Do I see this person? Are they up on it or something?
They are currently thrashing around on the floor of this tent. You can see them in full view. You can also see this person behind, and you can see these people coming up the alleyway.
That's 4 of them. Is this actually in the way?
Yes.
Okay. Did I move 6? I can't remember.
You did.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4, 5, 6. That's the max. Okay. So, looks left, looks right. Yeah! And does this. Where'd it go? I'm trying to see the range on this guy, and I can't see it. Oh, yeah, it's fine.
That definitely hits.
Takes a shot at this guy. As he's backing away, like, pulls your bow and arrow out. And damn, that's a lot of damage. Oh no, it didn't do any damage.
You haven't clicked the damage yet.
Yeah, you can click the damage. There you
Oh, okay.
go. Alright. You fire a shot directly into his chest, and he stops thrashing and is now dangling from the curtains like a limp puppet.
He'll be up in a turn, I know it.
I leave for 5 minutes and everything goes to pieces.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
My dear sister, what are you up to?
Shani's going to fly out 1, 2, 3, 4 to get a good vantage point. She's still 30 feet up. She takes out her bow. And she is going to take a shot at this one.
Roll. That misses, I'm afraid.
She's going to look around and just go, Is the cart turned over or is it still upright?
It is on its side and it's spilled its load just all over the street here. So there's now cheese, food, broken casks of wine. Just this street is now cluttered.
Right, so climbing on it wouldn't be any use.
You could climb on it. It is on its side. It's now a makeshift barricade for all intents and purposes, but the barricade itself is only probably about 5 feet high.
Basically, would it be enough for everyone to climb on to escape, stay out of reach, basically?
It would be like the equivalent of standing on top of a car. Their arms could reach.
I think everyone getting on top of the roof was a better idea.
Fair enough. Shani just goes, everyone get on the roof! She's going to try and swoop down a little bit diagonally towards Wooly.
Okay. Are you still
yeah.
30 feet in the air, or did you go lower?
Yeah, she's gone down to about 20 feet diagonally now.
Okay.
Oh, she's going, yeah.
Jeez. The man who was coming towards you is now limp in the curtains, but this one is still coming towards you.
Well, he's gonna take Shani's advice and from its history, live to fight another day. Try and get up on the roof, or a roof, so 5, 10, 15 still on the ground, and then try to climb up to this roof.
Roll me an athletics check.
Where's my athletics? There it is. Really?
You ever seen cartoons where the cartoon character like runs up the wall and then kind of slides back down, leaving claw marks?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what Cheese just did. He tried to climb up the wall, couldn't get any purchase, and just slid back down. He's now back in the alley, just with his nails dug into the wall.
Five. My athletics. What the fuck?
Now you know how Squish feels whenever she attacks. She has like a +8 to attack and still fucking misses everything.
The dice are cool.
This guy does not move. Lair action.
I don't trust that X. I mean, he can't move anyway because he's floating in the air.
Pretty much, yeah, but he doesn't appear to have doesn't seem to have any other signs of life. You hear a bellow in the other street of the oxen, just echoing over the top of the top of the roofs. This one is now standing under the sister and is now trying to reach for her legs, even though there's like 15 feet separating them. 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. Where's the slam attack? 18 hit you, Cheese.
Okay. Yes, I'm here.
Hit, yeah?
18? It meets it.
Okay. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Now, this is where I reveal that I am running modified rules for zombies.
Oh no.
Cheese, you have just been hit. So you now get to make a choice. You can roll a dexterity, a strength, or a constitution saving throw.
Choose your fate.
Pretty much, yes.
Dennis is
Okay.
having a whale of a time.
That's because I told Dennis what I'm doing.
Alright. Let me get my shit back up here, and...
Yes, tonight the part of Maleficent, Mistress of All Evil, will be played by Jonas the DM.
All right.
I'm not looking what I get.
A 10. So, Cheese. This short, fat man who appears to have had just the front of his chest scratched open is now lumbered towards you and is essentially tries to grab you, but you manage to wriggle away but he scratches you across your neck.
No.
It hurts like hell. You're bleeding. And you start to feel something's wrong. Meanwhile,
Kobo, my first Kobo.
I thought you were a goblin.
Yes, Goblin, Kobo.
Journus, I'm going to say right now that when these people started showing up, I got a certain vibe, and I'm going to send it to you in private message because I don't want to spoil anything.
This one misses. Essentially, these two have like bumped into each other now as they're looming over this poor little goblin. Now then, this is something I did in secret last time, but now I'm going to reveal to you what is happening. Yous are making a lot of noise. Yous made noise this turn, which means I roll to see how many additional members of the horde you have attracted. Okay. Yous can't see through the buildings, so you don't know how many until they come around a corner, more or less. I can hear the panic. It's great.
My poor little goblin.
Oh, fuck.
I was like, I'll bring the nice wizard along for this adventure. I'm sure it'll be fun. What could go wrong? Zombies!
Okay. Wooly.
Hi. So, how far is it from the ground to the roof?
This rooftop is 30 feet. This one is around 35.
Alrighty. Okay then. Okay, got enough movement. Okay, I'm going to use 20 feet of movement to get here, and then Wally is going to cast Misty Step. So he can just heat himself up there.
Yeah, pretty much. You are now on a roof.
Yay! Thank you. Got about 10 feet of normal movement yet left. Don't know if I'll need it though. Still have an action. So I can see everything from the roof, yes?
Pretty much, yeah. There are some things that you can't see because buildings are in the way. But it would be real nice if you could help your friends get up or anything.
Yes, I can. I can help my friends. Because there's absolutely nothing going wrong with cheese right now. Nothing at all. Oh boy, okay. Misty Step was a second level sort, and so is Levitate, so, okay. I'm gonna help cheese up.
You can't see cheese.
You
can't see cheese.
Okay.
You're on top of a building. Cheese is pressed against the building.
Well, fair enough. I thought that because I did ask, can I see everything? And you said yes, but fair enough.
Said that isn't blocked by a building.
Oh, sorry, I missed that bit. Sure, not meaning to be contrary.
Hold the action. Hold the action.
Cheese
Yeah,
has been ejected.
Can't see cheese. Don't know that cheese is infected, so that would be metagaming. You know, I'm just gonna take a simple turn and just yeet another firebolt. Oh, never mind. I imagine 10 misses, but I'm yeeting it towards
It hits
this mix.
the one that's reaching for the sister.
Yes.
It hits.
For 3 measly points of fire damage.
Okay.
Hey, fire is fire.
She crumples to the ground.
That would be
say,
one.
In the modified rules, the zombies have 1 hit point.
That's not encouraging. That just means they will slay us through sheer numbers.
It's almost as if this is modified for a horde.
So this is Left 4 Dead D&D edition. Okay. I'm down with that. Yeah, that's Wally's turn.
Okay. Sigrid. You managed to pull yourself onto the roof?
Yay! Okay. So. Come back. Okay, so I want to use magic stone.
Ooh.
Well, that cantrip.
Yeah.
Sure. You can break off a piece of the shingle and use that as a magic stone.
Yes. Okay. I would like to do that, and let's see. It doesn't have. Does it have a range? I don't see one. It just says. Oh, it says touch though. So
Yeah,
I
that's
just touch the stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the touch of
snap
the
the
stone.
stone, touch it. It's now magic.
I believe the
Hell
range of the projectile is the same as like the sling weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 30
there it
and then
says 60
60.
feet.
There you go.
Basically, magic stone just gives you magic bullets, basically.
Alright.
Gotcha.
I have to say this. I have to be an unprofessional DM and say, I'll let you guys plot while I run to the moon. I'll be back in a sec.
Oh, excellent!
My
Plotting.
phone is ringing.
Ah, what a ringtone.
I'm gonna post something to the player chat. Actually, this is what I was feeling when things were starting. If I can make it happen.
Boy, howdy! I sure hope Fernando is going to make his way toward the roof.
2 seconds.
He is indeed. He has a plan.
Okay,
Good.
guys, I'm sorry. I have to go and deal with something real quick. So, I have to trust yous for yourselves.
I'll
for
keep an
5
eye
or 10
on them.
minutes.
Don't
Hi,
worry
Dennis.
about that.
I'll be back in a minute.
Hi, DeVillo.
Hello, children.
Also,
I
Meg, you can get on to Dennis because I told Dennis what I was planning, so he knew what you were getting into.
Yeah, she's gonna kill me. She's
Bastard.
gonna kill me.
Bastard.
Yeah, absolute bastard. You should know this.
So I'm just wondering if I should throw this at the ones by cheese.
I mean, Wally
Hi,
can't,
Clark.
but so I don't know if Sigurd can either.
Yeah. Mm.
So
So
I
maybe
hope
we
that-
can hear what's going on over there. So
yeah.
Yeah.
just saunter on over and take a peek. Then we'll see the poor gobbo getting like eaten to shreds.
Yeah, I'm gonna do what Dan's gonna do, but I also hope that he's not being too insufferable for y'all.
No,
Oh no, he's good. I love him.
Everybody having fun?
Super good.
Okay.
Very much so. I posted. I want you guys to read the player chat thing and just take a quick look at the gameplay section on that. And yeah, that's sort of what I was worried about.
Outer space.
The gameplay. Where was this? Sorry, I'm looking.
Player chat.
it's in the Dice and Jolts hat. In the
Oh.
Dice and Jolts chat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a board game that I played a lot when I was younger. It is, and I was getting a vibe.
Huh.
During his or her turn, the awful green thing player can, in this order, grow one of fragments to babies, eggs to babies, babies to adults, blah 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 blah. Oh my god.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I was thinking more zombie side, probably the Black Plague edition.
I don't know if this is a a bad direction for you guys to go in, but if Cheese is smart enough to be aware that this is bad, do you or do you not have a horny cleric with you? Sorry, a horny cleric.
Yep, we do.
Yep.
Okay.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think Cheese is really going to care because everything's going to start smelling and looking like cheese to him very soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be the best day ever for Cheese.
Yes, it's
Oh.
going to be a very
you go.
itchy and tasty day.
Maybe
Oh,
if
Owen.
Eric figures things out quickly enough, we'll see a little bit of holy water action.
My friend had a T-shirt of that, and I wanted it so badly. It's literally all it was completely black T-shirt, and on the front it said "itchy," and on the back it said "tasty."
Ah, yes.
It's the best. Oh, I loved it.
I mean, I
This
imagine
is,
if you wanted to use Thorn Whip like that, it would still damage them, but you'll have to ask Jonas.
Okay.
that is this is cheese right now.
It really is.
You know, as much as I'm perturbed that my nice, grandfatherly wizard is fighting zombies, it is admittedly also pretty cool that he is fighting zombies.
Yeah.
Alongside, of all people, Theno.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
the tap can't be pinned on Fernando yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Fenenyo has been his usual Fenenyo-y self. He is convinced that, you know, he leaves everything alone for 5 minutes and look what happens.
Mm-hmm.
They kicked him out of the tavern. Had they
Yeah.
not kicked him out of the tavern, this never would have happened.
Yes, remember what happened the last time he left something alone for 5 minutes, so it turned out we didn't clear out all the goblins.
Yeah, well, he knew. That's why he had that plan. He just didn't count on that little dirtbag to listen in. There's going to be a reckoning for that.
If you survive.
Oh, yes, we will survive. I just hope that this next round... Oh, please don't, Decork. No sounds on that.
Okay.
I'm wearing headphones. It's really creepy.
All right.
But no, seriously, best of luck, kids. And aren't you glad that I was having problems with Roll20, so I wasn't able to torture you with my bullshit this week? Instead, you've got Jonas's bullshit.
Oh, Maz, let's save the torture for another day, okay?
Of course. Well, yeah, Sigrid, can I use the Thorn Whip to grab people? I think you might be able to, but it's like with the zombies having 1 point of damage, basically any spell that does damage, if it hits, they're going to pop.
Oh,
No,
no, Adja's more talking about, like, if she can yeet her friends up onto the roof.
Ah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can have the Thorn Whip without the thorns, though. It's kind of in the name.
Yeah, true.
And I appreciate the sentiment, but you know. Now I have a question. I have a question for you guys. It's a technical question, so Fenenyo has the jump ability.
Mm-hmm.
How high? It doesn't say anywhere in the description how high that he can jump, and he would have certainly used it before. So I'm thinking it's like some kind of bionic jump, or is it something else?
So your jump distance is tripled. Let's see.
Yeah, but I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's what's Fernando's strength modifier?
Fenenyo's strength modifier is +3.
Okay, so that is 3 feet. If Fernando runs 10 feet before making a jump, he can leap 6 feet high.
So he can...
also 6, 12, 18 feet.
Well, so the issue is more, how high is the roof?
30 feet.
Ah!
Where Sigrid and Wally are, it's 30 feet. This is 35 feet over here.
Well,
God
18
dang it.
times 3, though.
No,
No,
18 is
total.
multiplied.
Oh, shoot.
Which means if he jumps, he's going to land about halfway through the wall.
It's like just.
Well.
I mean, what you could do is you could do a running jump and grab onto a windowsill or something.
Yeah, that'll work.
Or if someone lowered a rope.
Well, if someone lowers a rope, then he's not going to use jump.
Well, maybe you would lower the rope to the second or third floor, and then he'll still have to jump. But I don't think the zombies would necessarily think of jumping after him.
If you're gonna lower
they're
a
shambling
rope,
corpses.
I gotta say, if you're gonna lower a rope, lower it all the way down.
Depends how long the rope is.
Yeah, well,
I mean, Wally still has one more second level spell, and I was planning on using it for one more levitate. It might be used on Fernando, but I prefer to use it on Cheese since he's a little bit
don't. Yeah, Fenenyo looks fine.
I mean, The rope is long enough for Thananyo ultimately to do something really stupid.
We'll see. We'll see.
Hoist
Than
them
is
for
not-
their own petard.
Than is not stupid. Than is just lazy.
Which is why probably any investment she does is into a pyramid scheme.
We've already talked about investments with Thananyo in this game, Dr. Cork. You weren't here for it.
Yes, with my money.
It's a great investment. Wait till you see it. When we have time, I'm going to explain it all to you.
Yes, I'll imagine I'd see it in over 100 years when I've long expired and so have you.
No. See this in this box? I've got this key. This key is going to open a pyramid. I promise this scheme is like no other.
Oh, dear boy.
Yes, okay. Yes.
You invested in a literal pyramid?
Well, Fernando, I do have a few magic beans and a bridge to sell.
No returns.
Yes.
I've got oceanfront property in Oklahoma to sell.
No, these are the kind of things Thananyo sells to other people.
Oh, yes, I do have a lovely timeshare.
It's an
beachfront property.
It's an intellect devourer rock. As you can see, there are no intellect devourers anywhere around while this rock is here.
Indeed.
None that you can see.
Yeah.
Fernando, I regret to inform you that this is literally just a rock.
Or is the magic undetectable?
It has been blessed by the gods. I can assure you of that.
It's blessed by the gods, and the best part about the rock is no one knows you have it because casting detect magic on it doesn't work. It's too powerful.
Blessed by the gods, you say? Which one, Fernando?
All of them.
The Traveler. That's why it's such chaotic magic. No one can explain it.
You can't pin this on me.
Tides go in, tides go out. You can't explain it.
Sunrise, sunset.
You're not pinning this one on me.
Yes.
Well, we could pin it on Aquanox instead.
No, Fan is
I
just
am
like
literally
really annoyed
frozen.
because. Sorry, go ahead.
I am literally thousands of miles away.
So
Fan is
you
just
have
Easy
annoyed.
deity, though.
you don't take your letter will arrive when we've already cashed the check and left the country.
Fan is just annoyed because there's someone cute in the party, and he's like, I wanna take her on a date. I don't wanna be fighting zombies. This is all getting in the way of his plan for the evening.
It's unfortunate that she just got scratched.
Who knows?
Oh, by the way, I'm
Did she?
assuming is Cheese female?
No, Jesus guy.
Ah, okay. That was the
Yeah,
joke
no.
I was making. There.
Oh no, that's
Like
no.
someone really cute. It's like talking about the goblin.
No, I thought no. Than
No.
is 100. Than is 100% heterosexual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The question is, does he go for the red skin or the red hair?
I haven't. He doesn't think that far ahead.
Ah, okay.
Probably
Oh.
wise. They are a bit out of your league, dear boy.
What are you talking about?
Well, for one thing, they have brain cells.
You can prove that Thananyo doesn't have brain cells somewhere.
Wooly, if things had been different between us in the past, I'd probably challenge you to a duel for that remark. But as it is, I'm gonna let you have that one.
I am very generous today.
No. Daniel's never generous. He just doesn't want to. Right now is not the time to be arguing amongst ourselves. Save that for after we're all infected.
Thankfully, the zombies are taking their time getting to you, so you can have this conversation.
Yes.
Yelling down.
They're all on their mandated break.
Yes. Even zombies have a union. I mean, they have to, given the numbers.
Oh,
Yep.
God, I had the weirdest idea for a horror movie where it's something completely arbitrary makes these fast moving zombies freeze, and no one in the group in the story can figure out what it is. So like they're like rampagingly super fast, and all of a sudden they all stop frozen, and it's like, but what did you do? I didn't do anything. What did you? And
It
make
turns
something
out
really obscure.
And it turns out it's the fact that in a packaging plant in Uruguay they're currently making a pineapple.
No, nothing like that. Something more like.
It is completely arbitrary. You were
Well,
saying
it has
that.
to be connected in some way.
Well-
Seems arbitrary. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So whenever they kick over a stack of pineapples, for example, don't know why I'm stuck on
Something-
pineapples.
It'd have to be something that was in the character's control, but they don't know what it is.
Oh, what? So anytime they brush their key fob for the car, the zombies are stopped. But they don't
Something.
But they don't figure it out because they think the battery's dead.
Something.
Yep.
That's closer to what I'm thinking. That
Oh,
kind
right.
of thing.
Yep.
Something completely arbitrary, but the filmmaker or storyteller knows what it is, but no one else does. So it's like, if you go back and look at the story, you could notice it, but...
I mean, there is in the. I don't know if it's Left 4 Dead or I think it's. What's the name of the zombie series of games? Because I'll be honest, I got burned out with zombies a long time ago. But there was a series of games on Xbox where one of them involved a journalist and he was taking photographs. Dead Rising. Okay, and it's revealed that the zombies are being controlled by little slugs.
Yeah.
And there's like if you basically step on one of the primary nodes, one of the primary slugs, all the zombies in the area just sort of like boom.
Yeah.
So it could be that. It's like as they're backing away, they don't even realize they've stepped on something that's controlling them.
Exactly. That's kind of the vibe I'm thinking of.
There
That'd be
we
a
go.
hell of a story. It's like, they stopped. Why? I don't know.
Yeah, it's great to build up tension.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden they
Especially-
start moving at any time. And
Yeah, especially when in the distance you hear a whole different batch moving towards them.
Yeah.
Perfect start to a chase scene.
So is this speculation on what we're dealing with here? Like one control unit? No, okay.
No.
What if it is one control unit? What if it's the rat and it doesn't even know it?
Did you hear the Devillo? Did you hear about the rat that Fernando was?
Oh
protecting?
yes, I came in round about a quarter, about 45 minutes after you guys started.
And yeah, Fernando canonically, I think, don't remember whether I mentioned it in the last game or not, but Fernando canonically protects rats. So that was actually either a fun coincidence or Jonas remembers. But a rat got Fernando out of prison.
Aww.
If I recall, you did mention it.
Yeah. So he's got a real affinity for rats, and that's why he started approaching when he heard the squeaking. He was like, oh shit.
Aww.
Is there a rat in trouble? Because I have to protect the rat. Yeah, he befriended the rat slowly over time and managed to get the rat to bring him the things he needed to get out. And it was like, you want to come on an adventure? And he's been without that rat for a while because sadly that rat passed away. And
See,
some other
I
adventure.
forget that he's a ranger.
Yeah.
You know, he's that type. He's more, invested in animals rather than people.
Well, no. The right kind of person.
It's just that most animals can't throw him out of pubs.
That's there you go. And oh no. You mistake me. My lady, I can become very invested in the right circumstance.
Just as I'm invested in our relationship right now.
Yeah.
Wiggling eyebrows.
He does have, prominent eyebrows, so
I do love the. I have to admit, I am really enjoying Art Breeder to do NPC portraits. I'm slowly working on setting some stuff up for a future. What was that? We'll briefly mention it on the stream. Once this particular adventure in Voarcel is done, once the city of Cusvelgrim stops being on fire, then I'm hoping to do a couple. It's probably about 2 sessions, maybe 3 sessions of Call of Cthulhu. And I'm looking forward to using like the D100 system. If anything, I think it's actually a lot easier to learn than 5th edition. There's a lot less moving parts for the most part. And it's very interesting. I don't know if we actually mentioned it publicly, but I've mentioned it a bit on the Discord. The general idea is going to be it is a modern era game. It's a retelling of one of the most famous starter adventures. So no looking up, no spoilers. But it's basically a retelling of one of the most famous introductory adventures called The Haunting. And everybody is going to be playing basically Twitch streamers, YouTubers, Instagram influencers, that kind of thing. And, ghost hunting is really popular. So you're going to go find a haunted place, wave your cameras around, do some live streaming, chat to your fans, and see what happens.
Yo, it's your boy XXX Batman 1987 XXX coming at you with a new live haunting.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? This is Fan22.
I love it. And yes, Brooks, you're absolutely invited. You are absolutely invited to that one as well.
Before we get to the end of Civilization, make sure you... Sorry.
Smash that like button.
Yes, be sure to like and subscribe in the comments below. Now, a lot of people have been saying bad things about Cthulhu. I myself have a differing opinion. I'll talk about that later on.
I'm very looking forward to. And as well, one thing that I wanted to say as well, this is an experiment with a completely new gaming system. It is, or rather, a new tabletop system. It is not Roll20, and it is not the Foundry. It is in fact
Tabletop Simulator.
Yes. For those of you who've been on the Discord and follow me on Twitter, that's @Devillo, you've seen some of the tables that I've been experimenting with. The general gist is that everybody, you each have a space on the table, and I'm going to hand actual physical handouts as you get them. And you're able to pick them up, look them over, read through them, and this, that, and the other. You have physical dice that you can roll. The only downside is the data entry on the character sheets in Tabletop Simulator might be a little bit awkward. It's possible, but it might be a little clunky. So it might be a case of everybody has the PDFs alt-tabbed out, and you enter the PDFs, you either print it off and you use pen and paper, or you're entering information on the PDF because there are editable versions of that. Anyone who's got questions on character creation and all that, I have a couple of links. I got a couple of websites. I'm more than happy to go over that. But again, all of this is after the ongoing disaster of Voarcel, which is, I would suspect that's going to be 2 to 3 more sessions, depending on what you do, because you are getting very close to solving the mystery of everything exploding.
Well, clearly, as stated in Season 1 of Voarcel by me, it's the friggin' dwarves laying the pipes for the friggin' pneumatic mail system.
Not quite.
Well, that is one of the popular rumors I heard, actually.
Don't talk about dwarves laying pipe.
I was talking about pneumatic pipes.
That's even worse. But I mean, all that gnomish engineering.
That was not an improvement, Cork. Sorry. That was worse.
You know what I mean.
Mhm.
What I'm talking about. Sending messages through those means.
Hi, Turtle.
Stop, Cork.
You okay?
Hi.
Are you okay?
Right.
Yeah. What's going on?
So, at the start of last
Take a
week, our
moment to-
washing machine gave out, so we had to buy a new one. So the old ones have been sitting in our backyard. We arranged a bulk pickup, but because there's a flight of steps going into the front of our house, they want us to put it where we pick up our bins, which is the end of a long alley.
Oh, no.
We just had to waddle walk a washing machine down an alley, and we also had an old oil burner. Fun fact, oil burners are between 80 and 100 kilograms. We tire flipped it the whole way down the alley.
Yeah. Oh. Do you need a minute? Jonas? It sounds like you need a minute.
Yeah.
Take a minute, Jonas.
Yeah,
Give a quick
it's
recap
all
what
good.
you
Yeah.
were discussing, and then will I catch my breath?
We talked about a lot.
Yeah, we were basically we were chatting about Voarcel. Basically, we think there's the way I see it. You've probably got another 2 to 3 episodes of this particular storyline involving the whole thing with the city being on fire and all that. And after that, we're hoping to do. I would say it's a one-shot, but knowing this bunch of people, it's definitely going to be more than one episode. So I would say about 2 sessions of Call of Cthulhu using Tabletop Simulator. Now, anyone who doesn't have Tabletop Simulator, let me know, and I will see what I can do. There are certain links, certain sites.
I'm going to kind of do a stress test for it with you, so...
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it is because it's 3D.
Yeah, giving us a physics engine to roll our clackies with is dangerous business.
Yeah,
That's why I'm going to use the virtual dice tower.
I know that some of you are just going to be an absolute, because I was actually chatting on the forums, like the Reddit for Call of Cthulhu, and some people actually, they've used it for a while and they said, yeah, my players were an absolute nightmare dicking around with everything, so I had to move to a different system. So we will see.
Well, if
We
I
will
wanted
see,
to be
because-
really fancy, I could do it with the VR hat.
I know you really could. You really could.
Right.
I mean,
we've
that'd be
wasted
cool.
enough
Anyway.
time, so shall I go back to torturing my players?
You can indeed, and I'm gonna jump out. I'm gonna keep
So
watching
will
the
I.
stream. Have fun.
You're the little kobold.
Enjoy.
The
So,
little kobold.
I believe it was Meg's turn.
Yes. So,
I seriously hope you thought about what you were going to do in that time I was away, by the way.
Yes, we have. We absolutely have. We were discussing it.
So, off you go, Meg.
okay. 5, 17, 20. Oh, I still won't have movement. Okay, I'm gonna try and throw my magic stone at this zombie human that's by the sister Ashani. Or wait, they were knocked out already, weren't they?
This one, yeah, they are crumpled to the ground, yeah.
Okay, never mind. I'm gonna go and try and help Cheese.
Okay. So you scurry across the rooftop,
Yes.
glance down, and you can see Cheese has his back pressed against the wall. Looks like he's frantically trying to pick up his sword again. So, what do you want to do?
I would like to launch my magic stone at the Zombo in front of him.
Okay, roll to attack.
Attack. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Roll a d20 first.
Yeah. Alright, and what's your magic attack modifier? It should be above where your spells are on the D&T Beyond. Spell attack modifier, spell save.
Spell save. Oh, +3.
+3, so that brings it up to 8. That hits.
Yay!
He crumples to the ground.
Woohoo!
Where's the thing I was using?
Okay, I
There it is.
think that's all I can do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa! Everybody logged off.
No. Oh shit!
Oh, yeah,
On
yeah.
my end.
Oh,
Don't tell me by the time I've come back now, Roll20 shit itself. Oh, there we
Oh,
are, you're all
people.
back.
Probably.
There we
Yeah,
go.
it's
His own
blank for me
problems
now.
earlier for me,
Now it
so-
just says loading for me.
Your connection to the server has been
Yeah.
interrupted.
Oh, there we go. I'm back.
Just refresh, you should be
Yeah, Roll20 was having problems for me earlier, so
I'm still here. Real
With a
quick, can
compendium.
anybody see me moving?
No. I'm
Can't
just
see.
gonna refresh everything out. Okay, so, while we're waiting for that though,
Oh, there you go. You're moving everywhere, and now you're back.
no way.
yeah, the compendium was playing up before, so Roll20 is having issues today.
Yeah, you used your bonus action and your movement. So that's you. Theanio.
Ah! And Thanenio is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks over here. Actually, can I go down here from there to my 6th?
You can.
That guy seems dead.
This is dead?
Yep.
They're on the ground.
Yep.
They're prone.
And just to point out, Ashani is in the air above, so she's in any
She's
danger.
flying. She's like 15 feet
Yeah.
above you.
Fan is actually taking no chances. He is a nervous gentleman. He is going to try to cleave the head, the neck of this thing on the ground. He wants to make sure he knows that these are creepy creeps.
Alright.
And with eerie eyes.
An attack with advantage.
I'm trying to. Someone got my reference.
That'll hit. You decapitate it from the neck.
And Van calls out and says, "Guys, well, this is a real bad spot."
You don't need to tell us twice, Smile.
And that's it for Thanenio. Oh, except for if I can have a bonus action of him reaching over and patting the pouch and saying, "Relax, I got this."
Sure. You reassure the rat. Sister?
She's going to look to Wool and goes, Professor, lower her up for Fernando to climb. And she is going to take a quick look around. She's going to fly 15 feet here, so she can have a quick survey of the surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to aim an arrow at this.
Which one, sorry?
The one that's attacking, that's next to Cheese.
Oh, cheese. Right, okay. Oh yeah, this one got knocked down. I should mark him.
Yeah, it's the one behind it.
Okay. Oh, wrong one.
And does that hit, or?
6, I'm afraid, does not hit.
And she's going to use War Priest. She's got 4 uses of this, so she's down to 3 now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for
It's
God's
still a hit.
sake.
2 arrows kind of thunk into the ground, and one into the wall over here. It's about 1.5 feet away from you, Cheese.
I am the mighty war priest. Wah, wah.
Yeah, that's why you're shooting.
Speaking of Cheese, there's one down in front of you. There's one that is now actively reaching for you. This is the same one that scratched you before, and it looks like it's going to try and grab you again. What are you going to do?
Okay, well, I had to reload the page here.
I'm filthy.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Chi.
He is going to take a swing.
That'll hit. And it crumples to the ground. You shove it off, it falls down. You've slashed it across the chest.
Okay. And then 5, 10, 15. Is this a stall?
It's an overhang. It's like a, what do you call them? A lean-to.
Awning.
Porch light awning. That'll do. Will you sit down?
Let's see, that was 15, 15, 20, 25, 30.
You can now see Wooly is on the roof above you.
Oh, get me off the ground!
Okay.
How many rounds on it?
I'm gonna remove this guy from the turn order because he's down. Any bonus actions, Cheese? No, you good?
At level 4, that's what I got.
Alright. Lair action. So. Little shit, you just left wet footprints all over my desk and buggered off. Okay. This one. Starts to get up. 10, 15, because it used half its turn to get up. The one that Cheese slashed does not get up. This one. How smart are you? It's going to attempt to attack the Anu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trips over its companions and falls prone.
That-
So it's now sprawled onto the ground ahead of you. This one. 10, 15.
Uh,
17.
meets it, beats it.
You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. And would you like to make a dexterity, strength, or constitution save?
One moment. Dexterity, please.
Okay. It basically grabs onto your armor and just tries to sink its teeth into your shoulder. Luckily, it bites where you have some leather armor, so its teeth, although the hard compression of the attack hurts and does damage, it doesn't break the skin because it doesn't pierce through your armor, so you're able to shove it off. So, it hasn't broken your skin.
Yet.
So, these guys.
This is about like my last family reunion.
Well, he doesn't doubt that.
Oh, wait till you meet Estella. Oh, man. DeVillo is listening. DeVillo knows all about Estella. Or,
10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
oh, Cooper, you know about Estella too.
I know about Estella too, yes.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
wasn't aware that Estella and Fernando were related.
Twins.
To be fair, I probably should have seen it. They are both exceptionally attractive. It's in the blood.
Okay. Wooly.
Hi, this is a hot mess. The sister told me to put down a rope. I don't suppose there's anywhere like it could be fastened to.
There's yourself.
Yeah, I was afraid you'd say that. That would be an action, right, to lower down a rope.
Yeah. If you want to lower the rope and then brace yourself so that you are a steady point, then that would be an action.
I will use some of my movement though.
Essentially, there's like
flashback.
a 5 foot. This roof is 30 feet up high. This one is 35. So there's a 5 foot wall here that you can brace against.
I'll do that then.
If you want to use your action to brace yourself against that wall and basically plant your feet and loop it around a rafter, then that would give them a secure footing so you wouldn't have to make a strength save whenever they're trying to climb the rope.
Yes, okay. Wally will do that and then lower a rope.
Okay.
Come on now, gentlemen! Time's a wasting!
Secret?
That's the turn.
Okay, I'm going to... Let's see... Am I able to... Do I have enough space to jump down? Or enough movement to jump down onto the ground and attack the one closest to the...
I mean, that's 35 feet, right? Wasn't that
Yeah.
concentrate damage?
Oh, okay. I wasn't.
You also still have your two magic stones left.
Oh, that's true. Okay, then
That
I
enchantment
will...
does 3 of them, I believe.
Okay. Sorry.
You're alright.
Okay, so I will launch another magic stone at the guy who's catty corner to the building, but I want to throw it at his head.
This guy?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're doing an aimed shot for his head, roll with disadvantage.
Okay. Where is button? Not there.
So,
Sorry, I'm still learning how to use
you're good.
some of this stuff.
But the rest of you must be thinking
no.
what you're doing. A 7 and a 1 plus your attack modifier, which was a 3 with disadvantage is 4. I am afraid the 4 misses. It just zooms over its shoulder and hits the ground over here.
Darn it. Okay.
Anything else you'd like to do?
No.
Alright. Daniel, you're surrounded.
Yeah. Yes. I'm gonna try to get here, so I'm assuming there are 2 inescapable attacks of opportunity headed my way.
I mean, you could disengage.
Well, that's what I want. Basically, he wants to run and get the rope. So can I go to dead run and not? Is there anything I have to do to avoid or can do to avoid attacks of opportunity?
You can use your action to disengage, which is you actively dodging their attacks. However,
yes,
it does require an action to climb the rope.
Ah.
Okay, no then. He is going to just run and hope for the best.
Good luck for
Okay.
I know where this is going. And so he's going to run. So do you want me to move first? There's 1.
Okay. So 2 attacks.
Uh,
What's your AC?
17.
Okay. The first one hits with a 20.
Ah!
3 points of bludgeoning damage. And again, would you like to choose a save?
Yes.
Strength, dexterity, or constitution?
Oh no!
Alright. You are too focused on dodging the attack from the first one that you don't quite see that the second one is hooking its hand up, and it manages to scratch you across the face, drawing blood. You're now bleeding from a wound on your face.
Oh.
You don't feel so good.
Yeah. Ugh. Can I still get to the rope and do my action? What do I have to do to climb? Athletics?
Yep. Yeah, you just monkey up that rope. You are up there like a shot. Like a squirrel with its tail on fire, you're up that rope.
Yeah. And when I get to there, he is going to say, Willie, I don't feel so good. and point to his face because I would assume I don't need to roll anything to make the connection between as a ranger, get stabbed, feel sick, bad.
Mm.
Roll me an intelligence check.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I want to be honest.
Yeah, you think something's up.
Yeah, I don't feel so good. Points. Maybe poison.
Okay.
Don't worry, my boy. Just stick behind me. We'll get through this.
Ashani?
Affectionate pat.
She's currently still 20 feet above the ground, so she's going to diagonally go up 10. She's got over 20 feet of movement, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. She can't do anything at the moment, so she's just going to look down at the... She knows that the rope's there for Cheese to grab onto, so she's going to try and buy him a little bit of time. She's going to aim an arrow at this one.
Okay. Oh my god!
Oh, for Christ. What the hell is going on with this? I had to enter this manually, so I'm not sure what the hell's going on with it.
Let's see, D20s.
Suggestion, Seth? Try entering it a couple more times and see if you keep getting 6s.
Yeah,
I'm just going to try this.
Yeah, go
No?
Just shitting luck.
Right, well, I was going to use... I use my War Priest again to attack.
I'll say that 10. You can take that 10, which does hit. This one, you hit it square in the chest, and the momentum of it knocks it on its butt, and it flops over.
She says, Cheese, get up the rope.
Okay. Now, Sister Shani, what's your passive perception?
Passive perception is 14.
You turn to Cheese, and then you turn to look back at these guys. As you look further down the street, you notice there's another half dozen or so making their way towards all the shouting and noise. You look down here, and you see it's the same in that direction. And there are a few more starting to appear. Actually, no, there are none here. But the screaming of the oxen is now quiet.
There's one of them coming.
Jeez.
Oh, you bet your ass he's gonna be up that rope.
This is not worth 50 gold.
And... Come on, athletics, don't fail me now.
You're up that rope like a shot. You are so enthusiastic about climbing this rope, you climb up Wooly and end up on the other side of him.
Flop face down.
Yeah.
I don't feel good.
Alright. So, I would say everybody is now on the roof. These are technically out of danger. So we'll come out of the turn order for now, as more people seem to be coming. Some of them are coming down the street. A few are coming out of buildings. But they appear to be attracted to the noise.
I'm sending you a message,
Some of them-
Ernest, to see if I can... Sorry.
Some of them were gathering around underneath Ashani and trying to reach for her until she flew over to the roof. And now they're starting to gather towards the roof, scraping at the side of the building. A few of them tripping over themselves, but they're all looking up at you. They slack-jawed expression and just going.
Ashani is going to look first at Fernando, and she's going to cast Lesser Restoration.
Alright. Okay. Daniel.
Yeah?
You still feel sick. But you think that is more down to the fact that there are a lot of people that look like they have been half-eaten trying to climb up towards you. That weird feeling of imminent nausea, though, has faded.
Shani is possibly going to do the same to Cheese.
Yay!
You feel a little better, Cheese.
Thanks.
Just hugs whatever part he can.
Thanks, sister. Well, remind me to help you feel better later. And, Fan,
Wally actually chuckles.
Fan,
Pass up an opportunity, are you, boy?
no. And as he says no, he's like, is it okay if I do what I said, Jonas?
Sure.
As he says, like, never want to pass an opportunity, he pulls his bow, notches it, and shoots this one and says, never. And just, like, let's fly. Should I roll it, or do I need to? Is it just story?
Roll to attack.
Okay.
You miss.
Ah!
Fernando, we shouldn't be making much noise.
Right.
But I'd feel a bit better if we retreated away from the ledge.
Yeah. Good idea. Well, so what do we do now? We can't stay up here. Is everybody okay? Is everybody alright?
Well, I'm none the worse for wear. Because you and Cheese took the brunt of the assault.
Yeah, I felt sick afterwards. I'm still a little sick from all that, but I don't feel like I'm gonna puke anymore.
Be careful, I can only use lesser restoration one more time.
I imagine what you're contending with is no normal poison.
So.
You mean I might still be sick?
I'm afraid so, boy.
Oh.
We're not out of the woods yet.
So, you are now on this rooftop. The crowd below you is making a bit of noise. Now that you've moved away from the ledge and you have lowered your voice, they're making less noise. And a few of them even start to wander away, distracted.
Thenenio looks around for a loose shingle.
There are no loose ones, but you can pry one up if you want.
He's going to start prying up shingles and tossing them as far as he can, either here or here, whichever, would be farther away, a clear shot.
Make me a dexterity check. Alright. You get yourself a nice big shingle and you frisbee toss it. You actually get a fair bit of distance and it crashes down into the pile of debris from the wagon, shatters nicely, breaks a few things, makes a god-awful noise, and a few of the zombies... Damn, I actually called them zombies. Oh well. A few of the people start wandering over and start shuffling through. Over here, a few of them just turn and look in the direction of the noise and kind of mingle around. There's still one or two clawing at the side of the building. But there are still quite a lot of them around.
If we all join in, maybe we can pick, maybe I can, you want me to keep trying? I can try to pick these guys off.
Fernando, you're thinking
in the time that it took you to come, there are actually now a good few more showing up. I'm just not putting them on the map for simplicity's sake.
Yeah, it's fine.
So for simplicity's
I have
sake,
an idea.
There.
Fernando, this comment may be in poor taste considering what's going on with you and Cheese, but you're treating the symptoms and not the disease. I believe it would be best, because Ashani is able to fly, for her to investigate the town square. To see if whatever is responsible for this is loitering around that area.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Meanwhile...
what does it want to try?
Detect poison and disease.
Sure. Click the spell there and link it to me, and I quickly read the description because I can't remember the terms of that.
Yeah. Da-da-da.
I don't know if you can detect poison in another person. I don't think it needs to be in another object.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Wily would like to gently but firmly pull Fernando down. He needs his rest.
Hold on a second.
You sense the presence and locations of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of you. You also identify the type of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, and a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. Okay. You cast your spell. What was the range of that? 30 feet. And as you walk around the roof, you can sense a miasma of disease.
Okay.
It seems every single one of them is a carrier of something.
Is it on the menu and cheese?
She doesn't detect anything.
Oh,
She doesn't detect anything yet.
yes. Damn
Okay.
it. Jonas, what are you doing to us?
Okay, so, Ashani, you fly towards the town centre?
Yeah, she's going to try and stick close to the rooftops to be stealthy.
Okay. You, for the sake of simplicity, we're not done with that map. For now. You ensure your companions are fine. Let's not doodle on the map. Here we are. I would say you guys are roughly around this area. You had to wiggle around through the streets. Ashani, let me very quickly just get something, because I wasn't expecting you to split the party. You know, because that's a smart thing to do.
That's always a
No,
smart.
you never split the party.
I'm so glad I have infected you with that song. So,
Yes,
you
absolutely.
flutter your way towards the town square. And you see that the square is full of people. Used to be people. The colourful decorations are torn down, knocked over. There are a few bonfires that look like they were set up for barbecues and cook fires and such like that. They're burning low. You notice that this building, the modified keep/manor house, is surrounded by a sea of undead. The ground floor, all the windows and doors are smashed and broken open, but you can see lights and movement from the upper floors. You see people leaning out of windows with crossbows primed. So, it looks like there are some survivors in the upper floors of the former keep. I would like you to roll me a perception check. To see
Oh,
if you
come
can,
on.
See if you can. You said you were looking for a source, so let's see if you can spot something. Excellent. Okay. You start scanning the fairground, and you notice that there are a number of corpses that have been trampled or beheaded or their heads crushed that aren't moving. You also notice that in areas that aren't blocked by the bodies, you can see probably about half a foot of a sickly looking mist that is slowly spreading out. This looks similar to the mist that Wooly pointed out before, but here it is thick enough that it is visible. And it appears to be spreading out into the streets around. And as you look around, you see a cart. A familiar looking cart. Its tarp has been thrown off, and in the back is a large, what looks like a flower. It has a few large, colourful, inviting-looking buds with yellow petals, and those large buds seem to be settled on a nest of vines. However, tangled within the vines are corpses, bodies. Hello, what are you doing? Get in there.
Right.
A few of them appear to be wearing armour. It looks like those were the town guards. And every now and again, you'll see what looks like the main body of the plant start to convulse, swell, and then compress in on itself as more tendrils of the green mist come out of the flowers and then roll down the side. As you watch, one of the vines reaches out and curls around a corpse and starts pulling it into the flower. One of the petals, one of the flowering buds lowers down and the corpse is just pulled in, and you see the whole plant, as the corpse is pulled in, grows ever so slightly.
How far away from it is she?
It is, I would say it's around here. It would be about 45 feet from where you are.
Right. Does it look flammable?
You don't know.
Just to test, she is going to fire off.
You are aware that Sacred Flame is not flammable.
It's not actually fire.
It's not actually fire.
Alright, 1 second then. Need to consider that.
Yeah, you're gonna need like Wally and his like fiery pew pew bolts.
Yeah, I'd say she's not going to Sacred Flame then. She's just going to stop and think for a second.
As you're thinking,
Did she notice?
you hear the creak and groan of wood as you see that the wagon that it is sitting on starts to bow and crack, and eventually it starts to crash down as it can no longer hold the weight of whatever this is.
It's growing.
Right, Did she spot any wood on the way there that should be used to bridge gaps?
Are you talking about making pathways across rooftops?
That's a plan.
You wouldn't find planks of wood that are that long. A lot of these clusters of houses are in, like, each of these blocks is like a little set of houses, and between them there would be varying height differences which you could overcome easily enough, but between the houses you're talking about streets that are ranging from anywhere between 15 to 40 feet.
Right, basically what I want to know is, would the rest of the party be able to make their way from this rooftop here to where she is?
Hang on. There you are, kitten. You wouldn't be able to find a plank that long enough that you could lift while flying.
Right.
And also, any that are that size are currently in the fairground, surrounded by undead.
I mean, we got a lot of rope and someone who can fly. That's helpful.
Pick up one of the little boys. Maybe somebody who does have a crossbow.
The sister witch from outer planes can catch a sheep.
Well,
Are you currently
gonna
perched
make
on a
way
roof,
back-
or are you hovering?
She's perched on a roof. She's going to make her way back to the party, though.
Okay. Just as you're turning to leave, there's a chimney brace about 15 or so feet away from you. You hear a loud thunk. You turn, and there is a crossbow bolt now sticking out of the chimney brace with a piece of paper wrapped around it.
She's going to quickly go grab the note.
Okay. Let's go over and get the note. and it simply reads, "Go get the Kingsguard. The capital, go west." And as you look back, you can see that there is someone currently just waving both their arms, trying to get your attention, whilst the other ones are beside him, just holding their fingers to their lips. So it's just
She
like...
kind of gives him a quick hand signal to indicate she's got a plan. She is going to try and send for help, but she needs to do this first.
Roll me a performance check to see if you can get that across. You see a few of them are looking panicked or just waving frantically. A few others, the ones in armor, look a little bit more grimly resigned and nod at you. But you can see, now that you're actually looking in, you can see that there are a lot of people crammed up in here.
She's going to make her way back to the rest of the party.
Okay.
Out of curiosity,
yes.
would that have counted as a short rest?
Sure.
Thank you.
Oh, it's a good thing you healed that before. But anyway.
So remind me what I can do with a short rest. I don't remember.
You can use your hit dice to recover your health if you want to.
What's my hit dice again? I'm so sorry.
With Theanyu, I think it is a D.
T-Deck. I think it's a D10 for Rangers.
Yeah.
I know Storms is a D10.
I'm going to quickly look at your character sheet.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. For a ranger, just open up your character sheet. I believe it is, yeah.
Okay, so does that mean I can add 5 back?
Yep.
And do I get
You have
since
4
I
hit
used
dice.
Okay, do I get to put back one of my little spell things?
No.
well,
You need a
wait
long
for
rest to
it.
recover spells.
Okay.
Unless you're a wizard. Or sorcerer.
No.
Who has that ability.
No.
Okay, so...
War
I'll walk.
or Warlock.
in the time that Sister Ashani has been away, yous have tried to stay quiet, yous have been whispering, but it seems that the previous noise and the moaning of the other people around you have attracted quite a fair bit, and yous now have a sea of probably about 2 to 3 dozen in the streets surrounding your building.
Now, Willie, if I die during all this, I want a great funeral procession with 100 dancing women, okay?
Ashani, as you return, you see your poor oxen a few streets away. Didn't make it very far and is now currently surrounded and is being consumed. But you return to your companions on the roof. What do you do?
First off, she's going to try and remember how much, if any of those kegs contain anything particularly flammable in terms of alcohol.
You remember you were told it was wine and mead. You cannot make Molotov cocktails with wine.
Yeah, I was thinking more than mead, but no, that's not going to work. So, okay,
Also, a lot of the buildings here are timber and stone.
She wasn't going to use them to get rid of the zombies on the floor.
Just warning you.
Okay. I've been to the main square. There's a large plant of some kind. It's absorbing corpses. I think that's the source of all this. Professor, if we perch on the same place, do you have anything? Sorry. Do you have any incendiary attacks that could do a bit more damage than just a firebolt?
Oh, I do, my dear. I do indeed. Haven't quite figured out Firebolt, but I've got Scorching Rays and Flaming Spheres. They should do just fine in this case.
Flaming sphere, that's perfect. We can basically conjure one and then just send it straight towards it.
Indeed, I was thinking at the moment you mentioned we're dealing with a plant. Now the question is getting there.
We also need... Excuse me, Miss Sigurd, would you be able to... Do you have Animal Messenger at all?
Yes.
I need to send a message to the capital, to the King's Guard, west of here. We need reinforcement.
Okie dokie.
With Animal Messenger, she would need to know specifically who she's sending it to. A vague description of the King's Guard won't really work.
Oh.
But you could describe, like, hang on, let me check the spell, because, like, if you know the kind of armor you're looking for, that would suffice, I believe.
True.
So is anyone here, dealt with the King's Guard before?
Has any of you gotten in trouble with the King's Guard earlier?
Very much so.
What was vocalized? I don't want to cheat metagame, and I wasn't clear what was out of character and what was in character.
Very much so. You have been in trouble with almost every law enforcement personnel in this kingdom.
So what are we trying to find out here?
We're trying to figure out the description of the King's Guard, Fernando.
Or at the very least, the name of their leader or one of their members.
Well, let's see. And would it be correct to have him begin listing off the names of people because he's asked. I'm not metagaming, I promise, but you know how Thenenyo is. He's all like, "Who are you? What right do you have? I'm Thenenyo Sharpfell. I didn't catch your name, my friend."
Hold your owlbears, everybody. I hate to burst our own bubble, but you, according to the spell, you specify a location which you must have visited.
Was Thenenyo ever there in prison?
It's not going to work
Yeah,
because
but you
have
need
to
to.
visit it.
It's the person who has to cast the spell.
Oh.
That is
So
just
wait
a bummer.
So I was telling you all that for nothing. Okay.
What's the plan?
This is not my day.
But I don't think we're going to get that message out anytime soon. And if we do, by the time we get back, or the King's Guard gets back, there might not be much of a town to save.
We could start a fire. Maybe they'd see it.
The capital is pretty far away.
Oh, okay.
You'd have to burn the entire city for them to see a signal fire that far away.
From afar, Mads approves. So what?
I think we may have to go with my original plan. The professor using his magic. Attack that thing from a distance.
I'll pay you back 5 times over if you get us out of this, old man.
Well, I'd like to see you do that, dear boy. I'd very much like to see that indeed.
I'm just gonna put that marker where the corpse flower was, seeing as we have the party together again. So, what's the plan? How do you intend to get there?
Roof travel is probably best, but we got to figure out how to go about that.
Ashani is going to try and lift up Wooly.
He is a light boy.
So you're gonna go further into the city? I would like you to roll me a strength check.
Oh.
For God's sake.
You cannot get a good enough
He's
grip
not-
on him, and you are not confident you'd be able to fly too far with him.
I'm sorry, I don't think I'd be able to carry you, Professor.
I'm afraid there are strength penalties for trying to carry someone when you're flying, because flight in and of itself, you're already carrying more than intended with your armor and equipment, so...
I'm sorry, Professor, I don't think I'd be able to carry anyone.
You would probably be able to carry cheese, but not Wooly.
I could. I mean, you could try and carry me. I could wrap a cloth around a bolt and do the plan.
She's going to try and lift
Yes,
up
Let you know.
She's going to try and lift up Cheese.
Okay.
Believe it or not,
For God's sake.
Cheese is smaller. So I would say you would be able to move Cheese in small bursts of your flight speed, but then you would have to put him down, or you will fall.
I don't think it'd be advisable. I'm sorry, everyone. I don't know what's wrong.
You're tired and scared.
well, I can.
Is there anywhere like on the rooftop opposite us, like where we could affix rope?
Every house has a chimney.
Yeah.
And does Willie say that out loud?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Then Thanenya says, believe it or not, getting around up here, something I have experience with.
I'm so proud of
I
you.
have-
This is the exact same thing my last group did.
I
They
gotta
used
tell you.
mage to go from roof to roof.
I gotta tell you.
It'd be the most sensible option.
And he says, it's the best way to get to balconies. So, give me the rope. You hold the other end. I'm gonna do this. And he marshals up his courage, and he's gonna try to do that if he can.
But Fernando, Fernando,
Hey,
Fernando?
so I'm gonna click the spell, so your jump distance is tripled until the spell ends. Alright, let me just quickly get
one
the
thing.
jump calculator
This
in 5.
This is presuming. This is presuming now. I'm not trying to metagame, but this is presuming that they actually hold on to the other end of the rope and do those things, and that the rope is
Okay.
long enough.
So
He would check all that.
your strength score is 13. How tall is the Anu?
5'7".
Alright. This does actually affect your distance. Are you taking a running start?
He's going to try to marshal up as much as he can, and he's checking to see if the rope is long enough and if the others let him, because obviously if they're like going no, he isn't going to he's not going to. I don't want to have him jump and then the rope comes with him, and he's like, guys.
Alright. So
Shani
for
is just
context,
a.
you're attempting to jump to this rooftop, yeah?
Whichever
Helps if I
one.
It helps if I move you guys onto that map too. You're
Yeah.
attempting to get to this rooftop, yes?
Or how
this rooftop?
is that?
Well, which way is towards the square?
That's I'm not really clear on.
This way is towards the square. This way is the way you came.
Yeah, so this way then, which is what I had in mind.
So what does the distance look like from leaping over this?
Not good.
You would need to make a running leap from around there. It's around 30 feet. Just to
Shani
hit the
just
edge.
Shani just
If you want
straight
to
up
try to go
grabs the
that
rope.
way, that's 40 feet.
Oh,
And
Right,
that's too far for him. He knows he can't do it, and then he says,
so
Shani just
with a
Shani
running
just
start,
straight-
your jump distance is 13 feet. Trebled
"Yeah, no."
is 9.
test 1 2.
We can hear you, Jeff. There's just a lot of talking over.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hmm.
You could technically make it because jump makes your jump distance 39 feet.
Okay.
Okay, I hate to part in.
Technically make it, but you would need to make a dexterity check to see if you land okay.
D, we love you, but I think both Wally and Ashani are just gonna go like, no.
He says, "Hey, I just picture Thanenio being like, guys, I'm really good at this. I can do it."
You're all
She's
close
just gonna
to
take the
it.
rope. Shani's just gonna take the rope with one end.
I do,
If I were to hit it, secure it,
in the
and fly
interest
back.
of, and in the interest of role play, I do want to make sure, Jonas, or I don't want. I mean, if you want me to go through the jump, I will.
No, they stopped you. Wooly grabbed you by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shani basically secures the rope between the two roofs.
Jump around like you saw a gasket.
Okay.
Well, Wooly, I could have made it, Wooly. You know that, right?
Of course you could, Fernando. Of course. No one doubts that. No
the
one.
ladies are watching. The ladies are watching. I could have won the day.
Okay. So,
There it is.
You tie the rope to a chimney breast. Your flying companion flies across and tries it to another chimney breast. You now have a pretty taut rope stretching across.
Fernando, if I may be blunt, I believe the lovely ladies would be more impressed with a living person rather than a corpse splattered on the pavement.
You gotta admit, I'd make a pretty good looking corpse.
So, I would like anybody who's now going to scurry across this rope to make me an athletics check.
Yeah.
Ashani is going to be prepared to try and catch anyone who falls.
And
Okay.
Athletics, yeah?
Ashani, make me a quick dexterity check as Theanu starts to slip off the rope. Alright, you manage to grab him and get him on the rope and haul his ass. With his weight on the rope, you manage to pull him over towards the end.
ah,
Can she try again for Sigrid?
Nope, you had your reaction for one person.
Oh.
Sigrid, unfortunately, slips off the rope entirely and crashes down onto the ground.
Oh, hang on.
Bye.
Damn it.
Unfortunately, yous are still around your first house, so the streets are full.
oh no!
Can I try and levitate her back up?
Sigrid is now here. She landed on the tent. I would also like you to take... That's cocked. That's better for you. I would like you to take me 9 points of bludgeoning damage. And
Okie dokie.
I'm just going to fill in these spots that I... No, I don't need another wagon. Fill in these spots that I marked earlier on with little dudes.
Dudes! There's a dude. There's a dude.
Yep.
We're all dudes. Hey.
Hey, thank you! Thank you.
Well,
You make a loud crash. They all turn to look at you. Shani was there. Theanu got over. Who else got over?
Wally, I believe, with a 17.
Wooly got over. So Cheese
And
is here. Everybody.
Roll for initiative! Or we're using the old initiative.
You're going to roll for initiative.
Wally, roll high so you can get our lovely druid out of there. Damn it, Wally, not high enough!
I have something planned.
Excellent.
Okay.
I assume I have to wait for my turn, Jonas, to do what I said?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So, the zombies are going to go on initiative order 0 because they're not that fast.
Yeah, slow.
Okay, so we've got Cheese in here. We've got Wooly. We've got Cine. Theanu needs to be added to the turn order. Add turn. So the Sigrid. Add turn. Theanu was 13. Theanu was 13. Theanu was 13! There we go. And Sigrid was 7. Set in order. So then, Cheese! You're the first to react. What do you do as you see all these creatures are now turning their attention to your fallen companion?
Have an idea with the thing I picked up. Cheese is going to come over to the edge of the rope here and use Manifest Echo.
Ooh!
Nice.
And 15 feet away. 15, 15. 10, 15. Just an echo right there.
Okay.
And if you'll allow me, Cheese is going to swap places with it, because that's something he can do.
I just want to remind you that it is 35 feet in the air.
Hmm?
It is 35 feet in the air.
How can I not put it?
You can move
Put it on the ground?
You can move it 15 feet away. So if you put it 15 feet straight ahead, it's still 35 feet above the ground. If you put it 15 feet straight below, then it'll be still 20 feet in the air just below you. So as soon as you conjure it, it is going to fall. So just I want you to have that in mind before you switch places. It's
Okay, okay. Well, try and get that.
So the cheese-like substitute is lactose-free.
no, it's like the American government cheese. It has just enough dairy to be considered a dairy product, but not cheese.
Wally's nose is offended.
Yeah. So then I guess I'll put here, because that would... This awning, I guess, would be maybe less than 15 feet or less
Yeah,
below.
that would do perfectly. You can make it stand on that awning. I completely forgot about that.
Okay. So then he's going to technically swap places with it, because that's something he can do. And he's going to make a racket. Just the right racket. Just squealing and screaming. Just trying to distract all the zombies over to where he is.
Okay, so cheese-like substance is on the roof and cheese is on the awning.
Yeah, more or less.
Alright, roll me... How to do this? Roll me performance. You know, let's see how loud you get. Oh yeah, you make a racket. So, did you ever see that video of the chimpanzee that's losing its shit and it has metal spoons and is banging it off a rain barrel? You're basically doing that. You've picked up bits and pieces and you are slamming them against this roof, making drumming noises, just flailing your arms, smacking off the wall, screaming your little head off. It's like, release all that's in your mind. Ah! Just screaming. So, yeah. A lot of them are now turning and looking in your direction. Wooly, what's up?
Hi! So there's a lot more Zambos around than are currently represented in tokens, yes?
Yeah, I'm afraid so, yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to try and take any of them out, because there's a lot more. It wouldn't achieve anything. Okay, then I'm just going to do the straightforward, simple option and levitate Sigrid up, where hopefully she'll be able to grab onto the rope.
Okay, you move her 20 feet up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Just let me give her a little flying icon. She's still 15 feet away from the rope. But she is at least out of reach of the creatures.
That's fine. Next turn I can get her the rest of the way.
There are a number of them that are still, like, reaching up towards her and starting to shuffle. But so far you've got her out of harm's way. And you know what, actually, I would say that would suffice. With Cheese's distraction, Cheese was able to distract them from taking opportunity attacks, and you were able to levitate her up. So the two of yous working together managed to save her butt. So you levitate her on up, and she grabs the rope and just essentially does that little tether line and pulls herself along.
Oh yeah.
Yay, I live.
Cheese, do you swap with your substance again to get back on the roof?
Yeah.
Okay. Boop, boop.
Gobbo and Wizard Lizard getting shit done.
Your cheese-like substance is still making the motions of making all the noise, but I don't know if it does make noise. Does the echo make noise?
Good question.
Continue and I will read.
But it's just basically there. A lot of people, a lot of the ones who were distracted by it are now looking at it, and it can see its movement, so it seems they're drawn to the movement now that they can see him. So, I assume it's your turn to scurper across the rope. And just for shits and giggles, I'll just draw a rope real quick. Just there we are.
Yes. Okay, what do I need to roll? Athletic?
Yeah.
Come on, cheese.
You're a goddamn gladiator. Use your fucking muscles.
Yeah,
The
you
cheese is coming.
pull yourself up onto the rope, you loop your legs over, and you hand over hand scurry across.
Thank goodness the cheese doesn't stand alone.
Gladiator, huh? Elsewhere, Rascal and Dora nod approvingly.
A few of the creatures seem to follow you along and are just starting to wander down the street towards you, but it's only a handful. The vast majority are still milling around that area where they heard the noise, and a few of them are even now trying to clamber onto the awning to get Cheese's standing. So, you're making your way further on.
Yep.
I assume you're making your way. You're continuing this with a shiny,
The shiny
ferrying the rope.
shuttles between, yeah.
Okay.
And, yep, since I'm now 30 feet away from it, poof, away it goes.
Alright,
Master
your-
Cheese, could you have done that at any time?
Your cheese-like substance disappears. And I will leave you with that. Alright, so before you're able to scurry over a few rooftops, climbing up and down before you get to the next point where you need to bridge the rope across. Are you doing the exact same setup, or do you want to make any changes?
I don't think there's really any way we could improve what we did.
How many of you have rope?
I have
I think we all have rope, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, Thanino is going to make a suggestion. He's still a little bit wobbly, but he says maybe do it with 2 ropes, 3 ropes, reinforce.
If we give it too much slack, we'll be basically sinking it.
No, side by side, tied together at the end.
Ah!
One goes around one side, one goes around the other side. More rope, more stability. Again, it's a great way to get to balconies.
Are you suggesting you make a rudimentary rope bridge? Foot and hand?
Seems like it.
Yep.
Yeah, Ashani will take a
Exactly.
second rope and set that up.
Thanino has one and hands it over.
Alright. So you make yourself a little rope bridge. It's a simple rudimentary one from what you can make by tying ropes to chimney breasts. The few handful of ones that are following you along, they're still slowly following. But as you get closer to the center of town, there are a lot more starting to mill around. So you're doing your best to keep quiet. So, I would like you to make me another athletics check.
Oh boy.
The DC,
Sure, and while we have sorry, carry on, Jonas.
the DC will be lowered because you have made yourself an improved bridge.
Ah, no!
I was just going to say, Shani's going to... She's going to basically follow them across to try and catch them as they fall, basically.
Okay.
I'd also like to
One at
take
a time as well.
point out that I can't cast Levitate anymore if we're pulling off the Flaming Sphere plan. So if you fall, I can't help you up.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
that
Shani's basically going to hold... She's going to do the equivalent of holding their hand across, basically.
Alright. In that case,
Well-
when Thananyu starts to fall, I would like you to make me a strength saving throw.
But what about cheese?
Oh,
Okay.
saving throw. Right, one
So,
second.
you ever see those videos where people are doing the high rope and the low rope, and then they start to wobble, and it just spreads out? Thananyo starts to do that, where he's just wobbling furiously. His hands go back, his feet go forward, and he's just almost vibrating himself off the rope, but you manage to grab the top rope and stabilize Thananyo, and basically guide him over, holding the rope steady. The same thing starts to happen with Cheese. Again, I'd like you to make me another strength check to try and rescue Cheese before he falls.
Nice.
I just grab Cheese by the scruff and just fly him, because he is a tiny goblin. You can fly with him. But by the time you get to the roof, you are winded and you need to take a few minutes to catch your breath. But you are on the next rooftop and are getting closer. It helps if I'm on the right DM screen too to help you guys. So
And we
yous
still have a
made it-
fight.
You made it
I
here.
love-
You have
I'll-
one more street before you're on a large block of houses that flanks the square.
Same setup.
Yep.
I love that noodle-limbed Wally just managed that no problem.
Yeah, I know.
Why do I get the feeling it's not going to go so well this time?
We'll see. Benigno still feels wobbly. He's walking across the bridge being like, or crawling across the bridge being like, you're not poisoned. You're just going to gird yourself and prove that you've got what it takes. What?
So, Asani does the same thing again. She flies over. I completely forgot she had wings. You know, this is messing up what I had planned. But anyway. Anyway, she flies across. I love it though. This is brilliant. This is inventive. I love it. She flies over. She sets up your little rope bridge. And again, I would like you to make your athletics checks to try and get across.
I knew it! I fucking knew it!
Oh, yeah.
You
Shani's
called it.
going to do the same thing. So I'm just
Alright,
going to
we'll
roll
let
strength
everyone finish
save.
their athletics checks first. Okay. I would like you to make a strength save to help Wooly.
Ah, see, it's just like the fences on the farm. No problem!
Okay. Wooly is a heavy boy because he is a dragonborn. They are built. Despite him being smaller than the average dragonborn because he is a nerd. Sorry, neglected the physical arts for his intellectual arts. I'm only joking, Wooly, you're fine.
Yeah, if I
Still,
don't
he-
one long.
You couldn't catch him if he started to fall off the rope entirely, but you're able to help him get his grip back before you have to fly and rest. But he's able to carefully inch his way on over after you help him.
Ah, okay, thank you,
Asani,
sister.
I would like you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay, Constitution save.
Okay. You're
Well, that's
tired.
Constitution regular.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's a normal con.
Yeah.
Is that okay or?
No, I would prefer a save. We'll see how you
Right,
do.
1 second.
That's better.
I was gonna say.
You are tired. Your wings are aching with a physical exertion. So are your arms. You rarely have to carry anything other than your own weight when you're flying. So you're knackered. You are winded. You need to sit for a moment. But you manage to avoid taking a point of exhaustion.
Sorry, everyone. I just need to rest for a second.
Wally extends his water skin. Drink up, sister.
So
You've
you
earned
don't mechanically you don't need to take a short rest. It just means you won't be able to do anything physical for a few minutes. So basically, you just rest your wings for a moment. So I assume you scarper across the roofs to look into the square.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So by this stage now, the sun is down. It is dark. Because you are now on the edge of the square where The bonfires for where the festival was supposed to be taking place are still lit, as well as the gas lamps that were lit for the night. You can see in the square. Looking around from your perch on the rooftops, a lot of the city is dark. You see a few spots where there are lights in the windows, a few streets where there's lights, but for the majority, outside of the square, the town is dark. You can see in the upper floor of the Manorfied Keep, they appear to be keeping the lights low. But every now and again, you do see someone poking out the window with a crossbow and just kind of scanning the crowd. Just basically keeping an eye out. So, as far as you can see, survivors are still there. The flower that Ashani saw is now outgrown the cart. This thing is probably nearly 10 foot across. It has dragged several more corpses towards it, where there's now a small clearing around it, where there's just clear ground, but there are drag marks all over. The tendrils are slipping out and just very slowly sweeping the ground around it as if looking for more. And every now and again, the bulb of it will swell and shudder and convulse and then constrict as more of the green like mist starts forming out of the petals and spreading across the floor like a heavy gas. There's probably now about 2 feet of mist obscuring the ground, and you can see it is now spreading out into the streets.
Okay, so we're gonna burn that plant, right?
That's the plan.
Anenio says, now would Anenio know whether he could like put a torch on an arrow and shoot it?
Like a improvised flaming arrow.
You can
Yeah,
try.
could he do that? Yeah. Is that within the realm of possibility?
Torches are pretty hefty chunks of wood.
Yes.
You would not
Yes.
be able to tie that to an arrow. However, you could attempt to remove the pitch-soaked topping and attach it to an arrow.
Yes, that's what he wants to try his best to improvise a flame arrow. As a ranger, I'm sure he's had to do weird stuff like that. And he's going to try to shoot the minute after Chi says, we're going to burn that thing, right? He's like, well, hold on a minute.
I would say make me a sleight of hand check. First off, to try and get the flammable topping off of the your torch, and then to attach it to the arrow in such a way that it won't mess up the aerodynamics of it. So you
one.
sit with a dagger and you carve off the pitch-soaked rags that make the top of this torch, and you lift an arrow. I am bleeding.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, it's alright. It's just a little paper cut.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's just.
And he's explaining very quietly to the others what he's doing.
Yeah. It's pretty. Once you pick up your arrow and start wrapping around, it's pretty obvious what you're doing. You manage to wrap it in such a way that it coats the head, but the majority of the weight is behind the head, where it doesn't mess up the aerodynamics. So it won't last long once you light it, but you reckon it'll get a good shot and hold the flame.
A thought occurs to me.
Yeah, also with Anenio too.
Well, the defenders in the town hall, they could see this as a plant. Surely it would have occurred to them to try just setting it on fire. Like,
You don't know.
Yeah, do they know something we don't know? I'm not on this.
No, because if the gas was flammable, then the bonfires would have set it off.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm just trying to light that wood underneath it.
Yeah, that's true. Once the appropriate mix would have been there, then whoosh.
Of course, if any of you guys know any tricks to make this arrow a little more reliable or burn a little brighter, I'll take them. And he gets ready to notch and gets ready.
Fernando, I can literally throw fire.
Okay. Bear with me just a moment.
Yes.
Because now I need to arrange something that I should have had arranged before, but I forgot. Because I am smart.
Also, why Bahamut breathe? I don't remember you being this nervous about the goblin.
That was different, and I was doing it for a different reason.
Wally leans in. Are you doing this just to impress the ladies?
Of course, it's the annual.
Okay. No, his next line, honestly, is... He looks for a minute, thinks, and goes, okay, it's the same reason.
Well, all I can say is... Aim true, my boy.
I always do.
Oh, gods.
Okay.
Far be it from me to take from your moment of
Mother
triumph.
of pearl!
I was expecting that reaction.
Were you expecting me to specifically say "Sweet Mother of Pearl"?
No, I was
Did I say that other time?
expecting an exclamation. So,
Well, we're streaming, and I don't want to demonetize.
as if I get money out of this.
No.
Over here, under this, this is basically like an awning, but under here, there's just a lot of the undead milling in and out of the broken windows and doors. From here, you can see that the ground floor is entirely abandoned because it is full of the undead. You get the feeling that... Actually, you know what? Anyone who wants to look in there, roll me a perception check.
Looking where out? If you could remind me. Like in there?
Inside
Yeah.
the manor.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm guessing I can't use my passive perception.
Because
Damn
you
it!
need an active check.
Never mind, I got that 20!
So you kind of like squat down and tilt your head to look in, and you can see that the grand staircase has just there are desks, there are chairs, there are tables, just all thrown there to make a makeshift barricade, and there are a few undead just kind of draped over it. And you can see just at the top there's a few men in armor with spears, looking absolutely terrified. And every time an undead seems to wander close by, they'll just kind of take the spear and very quietly just kind of push the undead very slowly so it starts wandering away. And you notice that every time an undead is kind of steered away, it bumps into the ones around it, and they also kind of wander away for a few moments. And then one will eventually start going back. So it looks like they're not trying to attract too much attention by killing them, they're just herding them away.
Well, they're fortified in the town hall, but they won't hold out for long unless we give them a distraction. And I reckon we can do that rather handily.
Now, a question. One more question before... Oh, sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I basically said everything I needed to say, so...
I think you're right, Willie. But I was going to ask Jernus, did we observe the plant eating corpses? Looking for more, you said?
Ashani saw it eat someone. You just see around underneath the flower where there's the mist, you see the mist swirling, and you can convince you see something moving in the mist. Ashani never explained to you that it was it has tendrils.
She did.
Oh, did? Oh,
Not the tendrils. She said about the corpse, but not the tendrils.
Okay.
She didn't see the tendrils.
She did say it ate a corpse?
Yeah, she said she saw it eat
Okay.
a corpse, but she didn't say that it has tendrils, but you can see something moving in the mist.
Yeah. She says, if it's eating the corpses, maybe if this doesn't work, we can get something to make them come to it. I'm going to try. Is everybody ready?
Go for it.
More ready than you are.
That's for true. And,
Just like crossbow.
and regular longbow, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. Not bad for them, yeah.
Nice. Just let me very quickly make a note of its AC on my tracker. Okay. You fire the arrow. As it fires, you see a number of the people in the square kind of turn to follow the fire as it hits the creature. You hear an unearthly shriek as the flower itself, tendrils rise out of the mist and they start flailing around.
Who's laughing now?
It's
Not yelled.
Just let me check something real quick.
Yeah, that was a quiet, personal. Yeah, who's laughing now? Stage whisper.
Jonas,
Yes.
I would like to quickly follow up with Flaming Sphere, which was the original plan.
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you.
So first off, that was 11 damage that...
It has to be in an unoccupied area, so it's going to be a big old sphere around here.
Okay. Just let me...
You waited to do that just to show me up, didn't you, Wooly?
I mean, to be honest, my plan was to, cover for you in case your plan didn't work. Like, your arrow would erupt into a huge ball of fire.
It's okay. There's two of them.
There. There's your flaming
I'll do
sphere.
mine too.
Do you have
Sorry,
flaming
go ahead.
sphere as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Where do you want to summon
Druid
yours?
spell.
Let's see.
So, we literally have great balls of fire!
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, this thing's only 5 foot in diameter, so... it's... that size.
Ah, my bad, I misunderstood the spell.
Yeah, it's not a fireball. Calm down.
It's still cool!
I guess in the same area.
It has to be unoccupied, so do you want to...
Unoccupied.
next to it?
Oh. Yeah, let's do that.
Ooh, right, better put on the concentration token, because this is a concentration spell.
It is. Okay, so now it needs to make a dexterity saving throw. The plant needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, it's got tentacles. It'll.
What are your spell save DCs?
One is 15.
Okay. Well, it's not gonna beat unless your spell save is 2. It's not gonna beat it.
I think we're good.
Oh, okay.
So I would like both Wooly and Sigrid to roll 2d6.
Excellent.
Yay.
Oh, what
take
the
it.
fuck? Double one?
So that's 5
Double
points.
one?
Alright. So this
That
thing
makes me mad.
flails and shrieks. As you see the tendrils flying, it's thrashing so much that the area around it is getting cleared away, the mist. You see the tendrils start to thrash, and then you see the body wiggling around. And then
Oh no.
the tendrils start scattering up dirt and stone and bits of desiccated body. It sends these things flying as the tendrils start waving around as it starts crawling towards the buildings.
Oh, jeez, it's an inhumanoid.
Can Ashani
I would
make
like
a move?
everybody now to roll me a new initiative.
Right.
He's
Good
is shitting
God.
himself.
Let me roll for this thing. Ooh.
17!
Hey, mine went on there.
Okay.
Just gonna post this to the player chat real quick.
Okay.
There you guys go.
Oh, that was a shitty show. Alright, so we have Asani, we have Sigrid, we have Wooly, can we have Cheese and...
Is it still on fire, by the way?
It is not actively on fire.
Don't
Oh.
worry, the druid and the wizard can change that, because we can just keep yeeting our flaming spheres into it.
Yep.
I got disconnected.
Oh no!
Hold on, I'm just waiting
No.
for OBS to reboot.
So we can literally teabag this thing to death.
That's assuming it doesn't do anything else, and I got a 9.
I'm gonna make diamond.
No.
Here's graphite carbon.
Okay, let's get you in here. Can you guys hear me? Okay, we should be up and running. Back on stream. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Guys? How about now?
I can hear you, Jonas.
We can hear you.
Alright.
We can hear you.
My internet is evil! Okay,
Yes!
so...
Pure and
let's
simple.
Get Thianyo in here with 9.
Oh, this is so the final battle I was not anticipating.
Alright, so, top of the turn order.
Fuck!
It is
Oh.
now thrashing its tentacles, its tendrils against the base of this building. As you watch, now that it's cleared the mist away, you can see that tangled in its tendrils is... I have to make a quick roll for this. 7 humanoid corpses. Let me quick note of that as well. As you watch, one of the tendrils pulls a corpse from the mass of its body and just starts feeding it into one of the bulbs at the top of its head. And as you watch, you see some of the areas that have been burned away by the fire attacks slowly starts to regrow as the damaged section
Oh,
as the
no.
damaged section seems to be pulled in towards the plant and starts to regrow a bit. After a while, you see the bulb twist. The bulb that the corpse was fed into flexes and shifts, and then after a moment, it opens, flowering slightly into what normally would be an absolute beautiful red and yellow petal, but instead all you see is the armor and weapons of the former guard clatter, just slide of the floor and clatter to the ground as the bulb closes up again. The corpse has been consumed. And just quickly roll for that.
Good gravy, Jonas!
I warned yous! I warned yous!
I don't think Jonas doesn't want her players to live.
God!
Not even a little. I just want them to struggle before the end.
I will actually point out, when I originally thought up this scenario with my other players, I looked at the stats of this creature and thought, I want to make a scenario around this. So there
That's
we are.
amazing.
Yay.
That's amazing.
Just the yay from Meg. Right,
That's
so
amazing.
this is now where we run into an issue. It is now nearly midnight. We ran over time because unfortunately I had to go and deal with that washing machine. So the question is, do you want to continue what will probably be a very long drawn out combat, or
No.
do you want to leave this off and pick it up another time? Dennis is shouting next week in the player chat.
I'd rather just wrap this. It's a case of
I will-
rather wrap it up, but I can't really go any longer because I've not slept in about 2 days. So
So,
I should be available next week if you want to do it then.
If Dennis
But
is
I'm
okay
perfectly
with
fine
holding
staying
off
up.
on Voarcel, then we can finish this next week.
Oh,
I'm fine with whatever.
my God.
Then we will pick that up next week. And if Dennis is home
Oh.
on time, you can find a random survivor who gets brave enough to run out of the mansion to help.
I'm all keyed up for a fight, but fair enough. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, it's only 4 for me, so I'm
So-
fine with any of it. You know me.
I am not going to tell you what this thing is,
I'm
because I
afraid.
don't want you to look it up. But
It looks like a
let's just say
Yeah,
it's
go
a
ahead.
dangerous... It's not even a dangerous encounter, it's a deadly encounter. With
Yes, it is.
4 players.
You don't say!
It
I'm
sure is a
ready
good
to go.
thing that Fenenyo doesn't have a history of just booking out at these kind of times.
Yeah, you know, like, totally not what he did with the goblins, no.
Well, to be fair, you're kind of trapped where you are. So,
Yep.
play the game. Was there a play of the game?
There,
Peace,
I would say-
distraction.
Actually, yeah. I would go with cheese substitute.
Yeah.
Works for me.
I love that. I'm just gonna call it that now. It's official. It's great. The
Cheese
feel of the game.
substitute. That's amazing.
This. All this. Should have never done this.
The fact that nobody in our party has a fireball.
We're level 4!
Low level.
You're level 4. For
Cause
I
it
know.
fireball until level 5 for wizards.
Yeah. You should have studied more, Willie.
questions, comments?
Comments. You know, he's doing his best now. I don't see you hurling like balls of fire around.
I'm the one who set it on fire first.
We are all
Which was
going to
entirely
die.
unnecessary.
Hey, I damaged it, didn't I, Dernis?
Yeah. You did. And then it ate something.
Mm-hmm.
It Skyrim'd.
Yes, it's Skyrim, but not only that, but like every one of these is another heal.
Huh. I just want to point out, it is entirely possible that this thing will pause the fight and heal health by eating cheese.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Oh, yeah.
What a,
Let's not forget that Fernando and cheese are totally fine. There's nothing wrong with them. Nothing at all. They're
Avocado?
okay.
I'm just gonna say, yeah. Not only that, yeah. Avocados from Underdark.
So, we'll leave that there for this week. We'll come back on Saturday for more Waterdeep. Tuesday, again, for Into the Maelstrom, run by our lovely Sephi, if he's feeling up to it. Thursday, we normally run Voarcel, but the DM of Voarcel is currently chanting, do this next week. So, we'll be doing this next week.
Dennis loves to see us in pain, whether he's
Yeah.
the architect of our demise or not.
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. This
Oh, hi,
was
Dennis.
just
So,
great.
let's sign off with that. So it's going to be a good night from me, a good night from the first time Aja has played with me. Welcome to my DMing style.
Yay, I love it.
It's going to be a good night from Cooper,
Good night, everybody.
a good night from Dee,
I'm never eating plants again.
a good night from Devillo, who just hopped into Gloat. Hi, oh, hi, Chi. A good night from Cheese, I see.
Not everyone. We're gonna die!
And a good night from Sephi Wolf.
Night night.
Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Not only are we